There we go. Finally got it solved. Okay, we're back in. We are back in.
Yeah.
Right. So,
So last time we didn't die.
no. And nobody's chasing after you this time either. Although last time it wasn't exactly someone chasing after you. There was just
Hmm?
one guy that you scared away.
I believe there may be something wrong with my character sheet.
That does
Oh,
look interesting.
what's
Does it look
happened?
interesting for you too?
Let's have a look.
Specifically the specialties.
What's
Yeah.
happened? Why has it
What the
happened?
Two
hell?
sheets on top of each other, or
I
what
think
am I
that's what's
seeing?
happened.
What? What's happened?
Okay, I like the fact that Vulcan either has 8 agility or 12 agility.
I'm going to go with 8 plus 12, so 20. Nah.
I'm not seeing any of that.
Alright, I will reconnect.
Well, hang
No, but
on. No,
I'm seeing it
if other
too.
people can see it as well, then
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can see what's on top of it.
can someone quickly throw up a
Oh,
stream
hey,
on Discord?
it's rubies.
Yeah, I think my sheet is merged on top of his.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Is it blinked?
Rich,
Cause
Rich, I'm streaming it. You can see it.
No, I think that's just explained it. Hang on.
Oh, have
weird
you?
that you can see it.
I'm guessing Rich probably duplicated
Well,
Ruby's sheet.
that's the thing. I made copies of Ruby. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, that's screwed up to all hell. Let me just check because everything's got a right. So this is C9FA0F. Let's see what this one identifies as. They've got different identifiers. They shouldn't have.
Well, can you see if there's two objects laying on top of each other? Because if the top layer is transparent due to text, then the
Yeah,
two
but
text,
you
the text.
probably see like C buffer fighting, and I'm not seeing any of that.
Well, the thing is, from what I can
Oh,
see on the stream, it's definitely as though Ruby's sheet is like merged over.
yeah, it looks like
We
it.
are one.
Yeah. Ah, I've broken it somehow, and I don't know how to unfixify that.
If
Well,
you can, if you can delete the object and give me a second to spawn an object, I can spawn my character sheet back again if that will assist.
Let me just put this as a.
Your
because right
character
now
sheet has been rubyified.
Yeah, well, it
Yes.
very much has been like and it's not rubyified, it's richified.
Oh.
Rich has done doofed something.
Rich has put something inside of my character sheet.
Right,
or the other way
deleting the
around,
sheet.
depending
It's
on your
gone.
viewpoint.
Yay! Vulcan's dead.
Yeah, Vulcan disappears into the ether.
Hmm.
Can you summon your saved?
He disappeared into the ether, so now you can receive him
I
on
do
your
not have the
radio.
ability to mess with blocks or objects.
Hang on, let me just undo all that nonsense so you can. You need to be able to. I don't know it. Hang on, permissions. Oh, hang on. No, I know what you need. Let me try this. I shall promote you.
Hmm.
Bang, you're promoted.
Okay. Component saved objects. There it is. Characters. Gotta make sure to get the right one. This might be it.
Looks like it.
Well, that's showing fine for me, and
Yeah.
Well.
Looks good for me too. I may be missing something, but oh no, it's got some stuff that I haven't deleted, but nothing's
hang on.
wrong.
Objects, because I also have. I'm going to try and just drop this in here. I can copy some stuff off of the sheet that I've saved if it would help.
Oh, I did the wrong sheet. Hold on. That one said vulgar.
Vulgar.
That's
Yeah.
This is a
that's
great
what
way
I
to start the
rename the
game. I broke something.
Hold up.
Hold up.
mad as fuck. I keep forgetting that. Oh,
Is yours broken as well, Mim? Because we may have to.
as far as I know. Well, I think for some reason, like all my core skills, like heavily reduced. We need to bump them up.
I believe that is everything. The karma points are probably the only thing that's messed up. And then I moved the bat away off the sheet, so nothing's important because Vulcan's not carrying anything really.
No, most of it is stuck somewhere on
looks pretty good on a cursory
Yeah.
inspection. Yeah,
the back of one
Raider
now,
armor, all the goodness there, yada yada blah. Looks pretty good.
which is why
22 karma
Go.
points on your previous sheet that I'd saved out.
I forgot to change mine. Again, I really don't use the combo point on my sheet because I just use the picture that Rich put.
I just like seeing it
Yeah,
because I'm like, oh,
it's good to have a reference in front of you so you can think, oh Christ, I've got a karma point. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly how many
So
karma points I
is
have.
yours working, Mim, or is it?
Yeah, I just changed my karma points.
Okay, yours is working fine. And Amelia, yours hasn't gone like bonkers and decided to start showing nothing.
I haven't seen anything that's off with it,
Okay,
so.
cool.
Yeah.
Right, in which
Well,
case,
Well,
hoping
other
that
than this info is severely outdated and I need to spend some time fixing it or just.
take my permissions away. I don't want to accidentally hit L and blow up the table.
oh, boom.
L?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
don't
one
know
key
how
that
many
can ruin.
times in my D&D setup thing that I was doing where I hit L by accident,
Yeah,
the table thing exploded. It was horrible.
Yeah, and then you're like, well.
Reload.
I
sad.
hate it when that happens because it always scares the hell out of me.
So these cards now exist, by the way. These aren't going to be handling hit locations with these cards rather than my table.
So you draw cards?
Yep.
Can I inspect them?
Hang on. Let me
Well,
just.
you'll have to shake them afterwards, obviously.
Hang on, before you get. Let me just make sure they exist in the world. There we go. They are fine and dandy.
Critical.
Okay.
I like this.
This one's upside down.
It doesn't matter when it's spawned. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's nearly exactly like my crit chart thing, which I was running on the D66. But this just means draw a card, you get a thing, we move on. There's no dice, blah blah blah, inspect.
It's faster.
So yeah, you just like you draw a card, where have I hit? Let's get on with it.
What do the black ones do and the ones that say, like, they have the same picture as the background or as the backside?
Critical.
Have I
They
accidentally?
just say critical.
I think I might have accidentally imported too many cards in the deck.
You can
There
never
are
have too many
40
cards.
some.
What be this blasphemy?
Okay. What the everyone just stop inspecting for a second.
Okay.
Let me just flip this over.
I'm out of it.
How many cards are in this deck?
46.
46.
48.
Ah. Now that's interesting. What the fuck?
It's on the back of that one.
Okay, so that's failed miserably to import. Haha! Tell you what, I'll just re-import the deck again, because that's gone horribly wrong apparently. Ah, this is a great game so far, folks. Like,
Getting stuff sorted is important.
Yeah, because imagine if we would have tried to figure all this stuff out in the middle of combat.
GURPS.
So better now.
Nah, but like this is shit that I thought I didn't. Well, I didn't expect the character sheets to fuck up. So. Does anyone know where I keep my Fallout shit?
Probably in a folder
No.
labeled Fallout.
You're right, it is. Well done.
Somewhere on your PC.
1, 2. There's your problem right there. How has it done that then? Wow, I have really pooched that one. Can I edit this? It's supposed to be 36 and not 46. Right. So, inspect that. There you go, folks. That's what it's supposed to look like. That was an easy fix. Yeah, the black
Nice
cards were literally just a space in the graphic that I'd used.
Nice.
Okay, that looks cool. Oh yeah, and then you have the different amounts underneath, or just the place in the deck.
It's just literally just location. All it is just wherever you hit. So I can. It's because every armor currently in the game has potential for different armor values where you're hitting.
Yeah, makes sense.
Then stuff.
I'm sorry. I was going to the abdomen card. It's just like that could be a testicle shot.
I'm leaning heavily on that because in Fallout, the original games, you could target the groin. So
as is the way.
That's my personal nod to the OG crit hits.
Do you then get nut shot bonus like in Saints Row?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Then I would like to add one canon fact in this: that it's impossible to Leon to get nut shotted twice.
Well, it is if it survives the first shot.
Well, I am pretty sure that no matter what mumbo jumbo Vulcan can pull out of his stoner ass, I don't think he's
Talking
saving
of which, have I got all the... Yeah, I've got all my tokens back, all the gadgets. Cool, we're back on Gadget Land.
Yeah.
Maybe just replace it with a stone or something.
You know, the funny thing, I was actually offered by the hospital to get a prosthetic.
They usually do that.
Yeah.
That's a thing that happens.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, I don't want to be a cyborg yet.
Cyborg!
No,
it's silicone.
Yeah, it's
It would be better if it was technological, though. I mean, like, fucking Wi-Fi hub or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. Your own hotspot.
No. Imagine the complete confusion if someone says that, oh, I'm just going to transfer a file to you, and you pull a USB cable and you just shove it in your hands.
You get some RGB on that as well. Like,
aren't you a cyborg when you have something that's artificial in your body? So like fake boobs and stuff as well, and maybe
no, it has to be
braces
technological.
aren't really in your... Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, to be cybernetic, it has to be technologically thing.
Technically a pacemaker.
Yeah, a pacemaker would make you a cyborg.
Yeah. But no, I couldn't see the point of it. It's not like I'm like heavily weighed down because I'm like walking.
Now you're just more aerodynamic.
More aerodynamic.
That's the way it goes.
Cool. Right.
Back to less testicles, more Fallout.
Oh my giblets! Oh.
Oh nope.
No, back to
going
on.
Back to the testes. All right.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Back to dangly bits.
Do you want to know what I put on here? A card which had information about all the people in bad, with all the names and like what they did. And because my game crashed out just now, like before I started getting the fucking stream up, the card's now gone.
Oh.
Fucking.
What about the text on it? Do you still have that somewhere?
The what?
The text that was on that card.
Well, I've got all the information, but I'd rewritten it out into information I could present to you in game, basically. I'd spent like half an hour just getting shit ready, and it's all gone.
Oh my god, that sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. Anyway, enough. Right. So, what happened last time? You fixed a still briefly. Ruby made a battery thing.
I don't remember if that was last time that was made.
Leon did some trading.
I
Oh
did.
no, you were making a site, sorry. And I remembered, because I put a note on this, I'd originally said it was going to take you 4 days. It's going to take you 8 unless you take your will check.
Wait, me?
Yes.
Yeah, because you have to rush it.
Oh, I thought it was 6 days originally.
No, it was 4 days. I don't know how I got 6 days.
Yeah, you know what? Let it make 8 days.
Okay, so I'll put on.
Once it done properly. But that's for the hang on, what is that for again?
That's for the gun sight, which we so far believe is a +1, just a flat +1.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's not gonna contest her own methods.
Yeah, I mean she's methodical. What is it? Methodic.
Methodical.
Yeah. So that's just her taking extra time to make it, basically.
Yeah.
And then we left on the concept that Leon was thinking about how to get the cables into Casa de Leon.
How to get the what now into?
The electronic cables.
Oh yeah, the cables. Yes, running a cable up a telephone pole or whatever, and
which brings us firmly into whatever the date is today. And I know I've got some things on the side here. You've already done your insomnia.
Yep.
You've already done food and wood for March 7th. Is that what we're on?
I'll have a look.
It certainly is. It is now, because I say it is. Right, jobs are good.
Ah.
Is the feng shui in balance?
Uh-oh.
Let's find out.
Much like the weather outside my window, it's snowing.
It is March 7th, and I do have a note that we took food and wood already.
Yes, I've got
food and wood.
Food and wood.
Food and wood.
Like, hang on.
Food and wood. I shall delete my notes to that.
And if I remember correctly, I have actually made. I've actually made that that is still actually working.
Yeah, I've got a note here. Your still is fixed. As per the major fault that you had, the fact it exploded.
Yeah. So now I just need the proper stuff to put into it. Something I can make alcohol of.
Yes.
You said it was snowing, right?
It's snowing today. Only lightly, but it's enough that, it's snow. And with all of that brings the contemplation of potential fallout risk.
Temperature?
Temperature, balmy today. It's going to be an average of 10, which is the warmest it's been for nearly a week.
Alright, so...
Okay. And it's not even going to hit freezing today, so although it's snowing, it's probably not going to settle well. So, what would you like to do in this brand new day?
And I would like to find honey.
I want to find honey. You can look for honey if you want.
Well, thank heavens for the Viking game we're playing that you make meat out of honey. So that is actually a legit thing.
I know that you can make. I've made mead myself. Well,
oh, nice.
Amber has, but there's some downstairs still, in fact.
Wait, she does the brewings?
We've done a little bit of brewing on and off. I've made some lager. She's made various wines over the time. It's all very alcoholic and good.
Well, there's only like one question. It's like why are we not being invited? Like why this not being shared?
Coronavirus, dudes. No, I mean, you're welcome to spend the several £100s to come over and drink my homebrewed nonsense. But the mead turned out to be nearly rocket fuel.
Mm,
Nice.
The lager I made went flat very quickly.
yeah, that's normal for homebrew. I actually had a beer in London that was green, and it didn't have any fizzle into it, and it was actually really nice. They had to pump it up.
Are you sure it was a lager and not a bitter?
I can't remember. I just remembered it was green.
Because there are several drinks that are served on tap that are not the
Carbonated.
stereotypical fizzy lager type.
Oh, well. Yeah.
So your mead was really strong.
Oh God, yes. Like it was
The-
some fiery mead.
Was it the wrong yeast or something?
I don't know what the calculation for it was, but it came out, and yeah, it was exciting.
Well, it's supposed to be as strong as wine, isn't it? Like 13 or something?
It depends on how it's brewed. So you can get mild meads, you can get strong meads. It's all, it comes down to the brew.
That's whatever yeast that you use, right?
Something to do with that. I'm not a brewer myself. I follow the instructions on
Oh.
packets.
Okay. Well, I wanted to do that stuff too, but I didn't have space to do it, so I read up about it a little, and what I understood from it was that you have to get a specific type of yeast because it dies off when there becomes too much alcohol.
I don't know.
And some species tolerate more alcohol than others, so they will make it stronger.
Those drunken bastard yeasts.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So anyway, in the world of Fallout, it's nice and chilly. Well, chilly, but bearable. If you're going to go outside in either the morning or late evening, there will be endurance checks because it is pretty cold out there during the chilly hours.
And a little radical.
And yeah, the fact that you're probably going to be faced with potential radiation. So make of that what you will.
Ruby is going to try to invent that battery pack again.
Right. I thought you'd done the battery pack.
No,
Let me
the inventions have been failing, I think.
I know. Oh, that's right. Hang on. The invented items. Because you managed to come up with the idea, but failed to actually make any kind of headway prototyping.
Yeah.
Sadly, today is not your day either.
Okay. Then she's going to work on that site.
Yep. That's fine. You sit down, you can start tinkering away on your site. What is everyone else up to?
Well, since it's not very pleasant to be outside considering it's snowing. I'm gonna ask Vulcan if I can help him to make any more hospitable for doing doctor things.
We need things to clean stuff first. This place is, that's pretty much the only thing that's left. Well, and a gurney.
Well, seeing that we're both quite experienced in chemistry,
you need the still to be working for us to have alcohol.
Yeah.
So there's nothing we can really do with that today. unfortunately.
Yeah.
So today is just a bad day.
Rich, quick question.
Hello.
I just looked at me and Vulcan's sheet. He has 2 in chemistry, and I have 1, which is based on science. He has 8, and I have 12.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, is all I can say to that.
All right, fair enough. I was just confused. But
The numbers you get here are not, they're not generated by the core stat they're based on. They are modifiers to that stat.
okay.
The way that some of my skills had to end up going
Mm.
made things the way that they are.
All right.
Gonna have to probably waste the morning, I think. There's not a whole lot.
I mean, if you want, you can skip the day unless you've got anything that needs doing.
Yeah, well, I
Sit
kind of
round
want
the
to go
fire
out
and have a good
tonight.
old chit chat.
Yes, that's
Talking of
too
which,
much fun.
let me-
Just sitting here twiddling thumbs. Ruby, do we have any weapons or armor that could use some inspecting or something?
Probably. Hang on.
All right, might as well get something done.
I
And
believe
get out.
all of the armor is currently on display on the on Cheeky's old spot.
Oh yeah, you made that into the armory spot. Cool. But I can't see what condition they're in.
Ruby
If you hover
kicks
over it
up.
long enough, it'll pop up.
Oh yeah, you put it
Damage.
here.
Fine. And damn. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that makeshift heavy armor is the worst one.
Yeah.
And there's some metal armor that's a bit.
Well.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh, this one.
Yeah, they're both
3. Okay.
Yeah. Potentially, I could see if I could take the makeshift heavy armor apart and repair the other ones. Or I don't know which way would be better.
Honestly, yeah, maybe.
Because the metal armor seems to be a lot better. So
I don't know if it's better. It's questionable because it doesn't protect your arms.
true, but the reductions are so much higher.
Yeah, a little. It's also a lot heavier.
True. It would actually, to be honest, the metal armor would probably be more like a Beyond type armor. Like,
Yeah, what kind of armor are you wearing?
I think I'm wearing a Raider armor. I think.
Should maybe consider wearing metal armor because you also have more strength.
You do have the strength to bear it.
Well,
And you
then
like to go
darn
up
it.
close.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna change my stuff. Might need some help making sure that everything is.
Well, just deduct anything from your character sheet that this gives you, and replace it with that.
All right. Well, I think it's in this case it's all positives.
You do lose. Oh no, you gain armor class.
Yeah, I gained an armor class.
So that's the middle one.
Yeah, that's 3.
And then add that to your total
Right.
armor class as well.
I'm guessing your block also becomes better.
Right, I've already added it on.
Oh, you added that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then that's 3. Oh, I do lose the shock resistance. Is that just? Yeah, that's just normal. Where's that from the radar armor? Oh,
Where is the radar
that's
armor?
from the radar armor.
Probably because it's leather.
Yeah.
Wasn't it that leather has resistance against that stuff, or was it the other way around?
I believe leather's got some, yeah.
that. And that.
Oh, that's a good point. It hasn't got the block detail on. I should fucking add that. In fact, let me write a little post-it note to myself, and I'll put it
I'm
in front of my
missing
PC.
something.
Alright.
Need to have this.
Add.
Fire resistance.
Oh, this pen doesn't work. Add block detail to armor cards. Right. That will now be in front of me until I do it. And now I'll remember it, I hope.
A robot plating 3 is so ridiculous.
Yes.
Well, which I am going to make an assessment on our body armors, see if I can repair all of those that are damaged by ripping apart the makeshift armor, which is awesome.
So what, you're
Don't
gonna...
underestimate that makeshift armor, by the way. That's decent stuff, too.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Well, okay. What else can... well, we have some ragged clothing tear apart. That's not very much. Interesting.
Oh. You should try fixing this combat helmet. Look at it. It gives you extra AC and something.
Huh?
And 2 head protection instead of 1 from the mining helmet.
Oh yeah, from my hard hat.
It's definitely more sturdy than the hard hat, yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
If you can repair a ruined item, I don't know.
Alright. Which I'm going to roll my armor body repair to see what can...
What are you working on?
I want to like bring as many of the high-end armors to not ruined or damaged.
You have to work on one at a time, I'm afraid, buddy.
Alright, fair enough. Well, then let's start with assessing what I need to repair the makeshift heavy armor.
Makeshift heavy armor
It is lighter than
is currently heavily damaged. And it is significantly decreased in its effectiveness by that damage. And makeshift heavy. A makeshift heavy armor.
or
It's made up of tires and pots and then
Yeah, I mean, it's
tape
like,
and rope, probably.
probably. It's stuff bolted onto an old thick coat of some kind.
I wonder if you could improve that armor by adding more stuff onto it.
Theoretically, anything in the game can be improved as long as you do the right gubbins to it. So, nothing's stopping you improving metal armor.
Well, letting McFix it, now you know what to do.
Alright, if you want to... So which one of the armors do you want to improve? The makeshift one? Keep making it makeshift?
The one I'm wearing?
Leon
Come on.
will probably quite be a bit awkward, like shy of
I don't
you
think
trying.
she means fix it while she's wearing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but oh no, Leon for a moment hearing that just goes, okay.
Well, I can take it off.
That didn't help Leon.
I'm wearing clothes under it.
Come off it, mate. Like,
what?
Like, come on, off you go.
Or do your own armor as well. That one you just put on. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have more protection.
True.
In fact, it stops hurts.
She is right. It does stop the hurts.
Funny enough, I just watched an anime where the main character put all the stats in defense and nothing hurt. Yeah, that's true. All right.
So what are you working on?
Well, I have apparently several things I can work on. I can work on a helmet. I can work on improving armor, and I can try to see if I could
Pick
fix
one.
that. What? Yeah,
Pick one. What
All right.
grabs
Well,
Leon's attention?
since we already opened the Ark Witness, Leon is going to again try to be a gentleman and improve Ruby's armor.
So you're going to work on Ruby's armor.
Well, Ruby takes off the armor and hands it over to you for as far as she can because it's heavy as hell.
Yeah.
And Leon picks it up and just holds it like, huh?
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, use your repair with your body armory bonus and roll away.
So that is 9 under.
Jesus, yeah, you've got a mad repair. I keep forgetting that you are stonk on repair. So
Well,
9 under.
Yeah,
and you're
but
trying
that's
to...
quite a significant hit on my scrap salvage part.
What specifically you're trying to improve? So basically you can improve its any of its core details or improve its like location defenses.
Well, that is actually not that would be totally within the realm of reasoning of Leon just going, so Ruby, what would you like if I can make it better? What would you like to have made better? You
well, how the hell would I say this in
Well, would you like it to seem like you can see that it would be handling better more like electricity came, like flat up like shock absorbance. It would cover more of your body.
Just be a bit more sturdy, I guess. Not really specific against anything, just
More sturdy would either be the AC bonus or the kinetic / impacting bonus, the little shield icon.
I don't know how to say that in character.
No, but
AC sounds good.
No, but out of character, your player decision is as pertinent as what the character is deciding on.
AC works.
So you're going for a +1 AC.
Yeah.
Well, if that's what Leon's working on, and he's managed to get a mad roll, then he has managed to do that. It has +1 AC.
Okay.
So just add that into the description for the armor card.
+1.
Probably.
Is that just done, or does that take him the day, or how do I...
It's going to take him a little while, but moreover, I'm going to need something metal to be given up for the effort.
Time to open the old Excel sheet and just going through the pile of trash.
Well, we have a metal saucepan.
You could, I mean, have you got anything more trashy that you can just throw? Literally anything.
That has... Well, we do also still have steel, I think, but that might be more useful for other things.
We need a forge for that.
Yep.
Toaster.
Oh yeah, I bought the toaster due to Vulcan's advice.
Oh, you bought the toaster. Okay.
Yeah, I remember I bought a ton of stuff.
I mean, you could use the toaster if you wanted to rip it apart. It's got metal on it.
Got metal on it, but it's also has like other like components on the inside.
Let me just check for toaster.
Plastic dustpan.
Yeah, but if you rip it apart, you get all of its components. You don't just throw things away.
Why did you buy it in the first place? Was it for components?
I told him to buy it for components, electrical, those kinds of things, out of character.
Yeah, like I just
You
said
can rip that apart.
that Vulcan told me to buy the toaster, and I bought Vulcan a toaster, and I also bought.
As you are all very smart characters, I will say you realise that if you were to use the toaster for this, then you actually won't get anything else out of it. It will be toaster ripped apart for metals, and what other things there are going to be inconsequential.
I think there were other stuff. I think I bought other stuff that was also metal.
Clipboards, the Nuka-Cola truck, head shears.
The Nuka-Cola truck is actually in metal. I remember that.
Maybe you can use that, and then I'll sponsor Nuka-Cola at it as well.
Ruby, would you like to have a Nuka-Cola emblem on your armor?
Well, if it stops bullets, then sure.
All I need. Tonk, 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 tonk.
Okay, so you're ripping apart the Nuka-Cola truck then?
Well,
In which case, because you have scrap salvage as a speciality, which is a made-up thing anyway, but you have it, I will give you not only the metal scrap that you managed to pull apart from it, but you can also have 1 plastic scrap.
oh,
Okay. Do I already have an entry for plastic? Is that plastic material?
Yeah, plastic material. I've got it as plastic scrap on my notes, but the difference is
We
negligible.
have 2 of those now then.
let's see
truck
if I
is
have any
gone.
on me.
While they're doing this, Vulcan is casually having a conversation between Quinn himself and Frank.
Starter, main, and dessert.
Wait, you having a casual conversation between who? Quinn? And...
Quinn, Frank, and myself.
Oh.
How vocal is Quinn being in your little conversation?
I hope just like buzzing and like.
I think he just stands there and observes.
Yeah.
I honestly thought he meant that he imagines Quinn to have a personality.
That's
and
what I was
talking
wondering.
and
If Vulcan's having his own little.
Oh, you mean what Vulcan's seeing? Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like having a proper conversation.
Does
like
Quinn,
he's talking about the trash can.
Does Quinn have like a really eloquent voice? He's like, "Well, I do believe."
It's very posh, very British. You know, it's like
perfect.
What you know, stuff like that. Very hoity-toity. But we're sitting there talking about his trash can friend.
Oh, and you should do it so he dislikes all the trash that we keep and stuff, and thinks it's all useless junk to be true to where the reference of his name is from.
But Quinn, this is all necessary. It looks like trash, but it's not. We can see. Look what they're doing right now. They're ripping a toaster apart.
No, we're not.
Oh, I thought they were ripping a toaster apart.
We're ripping a small children's toy apart.
Oh, see, like that can become something else. And he kind of rotates his monocle a little bit and says, "Well,
Do I bump my AC on my sheet as well? I'm guessing the middle one's from the armor.
Yeah. So you've got your base AC on the left. Your middle one is the armor buff, and then the right is the total.
There we go.
It was 16 AC.
Probably
16 is pretty.
Okay, yeah, plus 1 AC.
Rich, we need to go over my inventory, but at a later time.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm trying to get it all sorted because it's a disjointed mess.
Yep.
AC is only 10 less than Quinn.
Really? Yeah, but don't forget he has the mad block.
The 2, yeah, he has the block.
Yeah, that's the difference. He can block. You can dislike that.
But Quinn, what's it like being a robot? Sorry, I'm just going to like hop in with these things every now and then.
And all the while, in reality, the robots just stood there silently.
Yeah, no motion, nothing. And Frank is like dancing around. Frank, no, put that down. That's not yours. That belongs to Ruby.
So, with that armor fixed, or adjusted, I should say.
Yeah.
Do you want to do anything else?
Ruby,
Huh?
can you make another one of these? Make another Quinn?
Yeah, potentially I could if I had the materials to do so.
Bear with me. Could you make me into like Quinn? I'm asking, Frank.
Well, I have heard about something where they put human brains on some kind of interface to basically become a robot. But I don't know enough about that technology.
Well, wait a minute. So, a bit out of character. We have established that Vulcan was in a vault.
Yes, I think that is now an established detail.
5? Up to 5 and then out? Like very small?
Yeah, it would have been during his baby and toddler years, because...
Really? That late? Or that early?
Well...
Because it's 60-some, and the bombs... Not the bombs. The people were still in the vaults. What? How many years was that? 50?
Up to... I mean, it depends on which vault and why and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay.
But the general scheme of things is like 50-plus years.
Okay. And then he would have had pre-war people to talk to. So they would have known about these kinds of things. He would have heard stories.
Oh yeah, I mean,
About-
as you were growing up, you'd have definitely been told stories about the pre-war world and...
The brains in the jar and...
Well, those brain things, I think, were very controversial, weren't they? Like, very... how do you
most
say that?
people didn't want to be in them. They were put...
They're secret projects and stuff,
Yeah.
as far as I know.
I just remember stories from a long time ago. You know, I was actually born in a vault.
Oh?
Yeah. But I don't remember much. That was when I was like, oh, how old, Frank? 3? Yeah, probably 3. And then we left. That's kind of why I know all this stuff. Like, I had people who had knowledge about the old world.
Well, you would have had some kind of actual education.
Yeah.
So, how did that go then? You just all of a sudden all decided like, it's time to go out? Or...
Well, the thing with it was the vault was to protect us from the majority of the fallout. So when the sensors told us that it was, you know, okay-ish, and we also had food issues, we left and we had to rebuild and try. So when I was going through school, they told us about these kinds of things when we had all of these robots and stuff like that. I didn't pay too much attention to the robots. I was more interested in the plants and whatnot. But
well, you remember those people that came by like a few weeks ago or something? The ones that they wanted to take over Bads?
yeah,
They might have more information on that.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. We need to find them if we can. Just because I'm all for cybernetics as long as I can use this. And he pulls out his pipe.
Well,
Vulcan, you've never told me you used to live in those. What's bringing this about?
You never asked.
Well, you've never been shy of sharing before. So. Like you, your little girl and everything. Never told me that you came from.
Well, yeah, it was Vault. I believe it was like Vault 22 off in the west somewhere. Where are we, actually? Like literally in Germany? Middle or...
You're in Eastern Germany, basically.
So it would have been in the west.
The area
Far
we're
in
in
the
is actually
west.
part of Saxony, if that helps.
Hmm.
That's
It's probably still there.
how.
I mean, I don't think anyone could dig up a vault. Frank, no, they don't have those kinds of machines anymore.
Oh, so Frank is asking you about all the stuff that you were told when you were younger?
No, he jumps in, like he demands to be part of the conversation.
Oh no, I mean the fact that like Frank is a manifestation of your.
Oh yeah, and he asks, yeah, that's the worst part about it.
Oh, okay, so
he knows everything the Vulcan knows, but
yeah, he does. Frank doesn't understand that we don't know that.
Oh no, Frank just doesn't care because Frank's an asshole.
That's true.
Because he's always butting in and he's always like, "Shut up, Frank! No, that's not hers. No, that's not yours. Put it down." But so like that, I believe it was like Vault 27 or something.
Wow, that's.
But that was really far that way, and he points the entire wrong direction from west.
A direction.
A direction. Off to the west.
He has a compass, right?
Yes, you would immediately.
Yeah. What about
Like,
well?
That's not west.
Oh.
Well,
Well,
west is that way, and she points to the actual west
Oh.
according to her QC.
Hold on. And he like, no, I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, wait, she's probably right. Drugs. No. Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna pass.
No, that's fine. I don't want anyone to do anything they don't want to do. But yeah, so the way you pointed, it's off that way over by some German name. I don't know enough about Germany.
So, when you all came out of the vault, was that all the whole population of that vault in one go? Did you all scatter, or what happened?
No, we tried to look. Well, I remember I was a baby, but from what I was told, like everyone left at the same time, and they came together and made a community because we had some very bright people with us. We had scientists, we had farmers, we had doctors, we had everything that we needed. They didn't just let anybody into a vault. Like you had, my parents were full scientists. So that's why, I got to stay, but they made their own little settlement, and then they set up a school for us. That's
Why
how.
are you not with them anymore then?
I mean, I'm old. They're dead.
Well, yeah, but I can't imagine you were the only child.
Well, no, of course not. There was quite the baby boom, if you know what I mean. But just travels, takes away, people burn things down, and you have to move on.
Whatever happened to your girl's mother, by the way?
Oh, she was brutally mauled to death by a were-man pig.
Oh.
Red, bull-toed bird.
A boulder.
A boulder. No, she died. She got sick.
Oh.
Plants don't fix everything.
No.
This one does, though. Most things. And he is imbibing a lot. So, yeah.
That was the end of that interaction.
Oh, no. Oh, well, that's good. That's a fail.
Was that for endurance, then?
Yeah, that was the endurance, because he's gone
he's
at
just
it.
token at it.
Yeah, he's like.
In which case,
really
yeah,
bad.
consider that he's got all the defuncts of being stoned. I wonder if there's actually something I can give you that would be relevant to that. I wonder what it counts as.
Well,
Let's have a look at disadvantages quickly.
Well, I think maybe because this is bringing up some rough memories. He's going to keep going. Can we just keep that failed one and have him go straight to gluttony?
The
Because he'd
gluttony.
be pretty stressed.
How badly was it failed?
It was failed by 3.
In which case, yes, I can allow that.
Yeah. So it's like the pipe is full and it's about half full now. So as he's talking, he's talking. The room is filling up with smoke, and he's starting to smack his lips, and he wanders over to the soup and gets soup, and then continues talking on in between bites of soup. So he's eating twice the amount.
Yeah, you can double up whatever your usual consumption would be.
Yeah.
I think we've already done food, so you just need to add an extra.
You have, so just
I'll take 3 extra up.
Take 3 for his gluttony.
Yeah. And so when, there were other vaults, of course, there were other people. Not everyone gets along. The town got destroyed, Can't keep all the baddies out, and there's a bunch of animals and whatnot. So we moved. But quite a bit of education from that, though, before it all went to shit, as the wasteland tends to do.
Well, it makes sense then that you, because I'm still counting the fact that he was teaching me and Ruby as canon. That makes sense. You were able to show us how to do the treat wounds and stuff.
Oh, that's easy though. Any idiot can stop someone from bleeding.
Well, it's still takes some finesse.
This goes over this. Hold. Technically, that's about the extent of what I taught you, how to use a bandage, because it is just first aid. Now, if you want teaching and other stuff, we can talk about that, but that's going to be, oof. I don't even think we couldn't even begin to go into this stuff here. We don't have the right facilities.
Well, we can look into that, but even though teaching me how to use a bandage, like the guy who taught me first aid basically said, shove your thumb into it when it bleeds and hope it stops bleeding at some point. So
essentially.
Yeah. But yeah, that's, I don't know. Do you want to back?
I think that a vault would be a better idea in the end.
But, well, just a very, very far place to go. And the way you explain it, I don't think people who know where vaults are wants to tell us where they are.
Oh no, I remember where it was, but we'd have to. That's up there. That's with this, that'd be so far.
Well, if we put you in the car now, how long would it take?
Oh, it would take a very long time.
I have already GM'd some of the stuff that has been RP'd into existence. And I will tell you now that my big map at the end of the table, which covers a significant amount of Germany, doesn't go far enough to the west to where I have added this detail. So if you consider that you travelled from Torgau to Bad, which took you best part of a week to travel that much, and to reach the edge of the map you're looking at 2 weeks minimum. So at Vulcan's estimate, you're looking at maybe a month's worth of travel.
That is quite a distance.
And that's just my estimate. But the thing that I remember, although this was a very long time ago, it had a bitchin' set of equipment. Like, even growing up, they would always talk about how the facilities were great. You know, they had the best facilities. Terrific, tremendous.
Tremendous.
I
No,
wonder what's left of it.
I mean, unless the doors closed after we left. So unless somebody got in, the vaults, I think, are probably a better idea for us. We can keep stuff out, and unless something broke in that burrows, might be something to go for. The only problem is we have all of this stuff lying around, and it's kind of heavy. As much as I do like staying in this place, I think more technology, at least for you two, would be better. And let's be honest here, I'm not exactly a spring chicken. Most of my feathers fell out. So it's just a thought. You could maybe use your cutie to try to find another one. Don't vaults have like signals and shit that they send out? You'd be able to find that, or am I just...
If they still have
So
power.
meta contemplation, and only meta, so try not to RP around this. I would believe that a vault that is considered open, and certainly at the time it had opened, would probably have a very active outreach of some kind, probably radio signals. But, and this leans more into the character sort of knowledge side of things, you're all too well aware that you are old as fuck. And being that, you know, half a century has passed, basically since you left the vault, you've no idea if an active vault would still exist.
We might need to find... Would I know how they're powered?
Well,
probably not the technical details of it.
You wouldn't know the technical details, but you would know from like raking your brain going back to like your schooling years. You'd understand that there was like they had massive generators that powered the whole thing, and like it was all
fusion.
Yeah, I mean, you even your childhood memories, you seem to have this halcyon view of these like gleaming hallways, and everything was lit, and there were like lit signs, and it was a nirvana compared to your current existence.
At the very least, even if they're not powered or anything, they would offer significantly better protection than what is here now. A building that could be knocked down by some man, bear, pig.
So you're saying we should try to find the vault and see if we can get it operational?
I mean, I think that would require a lot to do. There was a huge team of people who were in charge of keeping that vault running.
Ruby says that a bit louder and looks at Leon as she says it.
But Leon's just dreaming about the vault for a moment, so he's just like, he's daydreaming. What? What is it?
Well, he's subtly suggesting we go and find a vault and see and attempt to get it operational, if I understand him correctly.
See, all the vaults had a proper medical facility, they had auto docks, they had wealth of knowledge, although it was mostly stored on computers, if not all. So we would need power.
How were they powered?
It was some kind of fusion related things. That was way beyond what I know. Whether it's working now, it might be running now, it might have exploded. The thing is maybe we should focus using that pointing at her arm, to find a vault. Maybe see if we can find some kind of radio signal. Maybe some kind of thing. I don't know how you would go about that, but
I would have to know what it would be or what it would be broadcasting.
do we know, is the Brotherhood of Steel a thing?
Brotherhood of Steel. So again, meta knowledge.
Yeah.
Being as the Brotherhood of Steel are in an entirely American institution,
Got it.
and they are pretty much a post-war institution as well. They are the remnants of what was once previously the American military. So the Brotherhood of Steel probably doesn't exist in Germany.
The Germans of Steel?
The German,
Or
well,
their variant?
your characters are unaware of any such faction. I mean, your
Okay.
current knowledge of anything like that is, I mean, you had an encounter with the Gruppe 9 wearing a power suit. That's about the most related thing that you've encountered in your lifetime thus far.
Interesting. Then the other group is the closest thing.
The other group?
The cyborgs.
Yeah.
It's so. Vulcan, do you want to go to a vault for safety or because what you asked Ruby if she could turn you into?
I mean, that's a huge plus. But it's got to be one that can experience drugs, he says in between the mouthfuls of soup.
Well, if they keep the brain intact, maybe?
No, we could just distill the stuff down into an oil. You can drop it into my jar. I don't really
Just drop it into his
like
brain.
fish flakes from Futurama, you know. It's THC oil.
Yes.
Good times.
Frosty,
But-
you are just obsessed with that whole head in a jar from Futurama.
No, not from the head in the jar, the brain in the jar, but you know, fish flakes
Brains.
was a thing from Futurama, whereas the brain in the jar is Fallout.
No, it's Robo Brains.
Sorry, Robo-brains.
They do have brains in jars as well.
Robo Brains are a very weird technology that the Americans were doing in the Fallout universe. Very controversial.
Oh, were they, Ruby?
Ruby doesn't know that character.
Yeah, I get that's out.
Yeah,
I'm,
fair
I'm
enough.
not. I'm not digging. I'm
Just
not
being a
digging
dick.
anything for that.
But I think, though, we get bothered here all the time. I think we would get bothered less in a vault with a door that's thicker than I am laying down.
Yeah, but then we'd have to open that door too.
Well, just plug your thingy in and do some thingies.
Well, it's
Yeah.
also like the other thing is like we have to find it.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking maybe we should go towards some group that is a bit more technologically advanced than the group of 9 is.
Yeah, but if they know about one of those things, why would they tell us about it? They would probably exploit it for themselves. If we want this to work, we'd have to find one that no one knows about.
Well,
But how do you find such a thing? What do you remember of that vault that you were in? Where was it? Was it hidden somewhere or
there was a big elevator that took you up and down.
but then where it came up, where was it? Was it
Like
like in the middle of a forest or was it in a city or where
It was
was
in a
it?
giant hill. Not a mountain, but you know, one step down. They've usually built them in fairly large areas.
There are lots of hills over here, so That's
One that
really
could have a
bad.
complex that would hold several hundred people.
Yeah, but they all can probably.
I mean, you're asking me to remember stuff from when I was very young.
I know, but want to find one of those things.
Well,
We
yeah,
have to
but
start
you're the
somewhere.
technical. If you've got a bullet hole in you, you come to me. If I have a problem with something computer related, I come to you two. So do your thing. Go on. Now. And he's like, ushering
I
in between mouthfuls of soup.
Leon punches for a moment of the whole like telling us like to do our job. It was he thinks for a moment, Vulcan or Frank? Just thinking like, is this the wrong person, or is this the evil, the idiot, the dickwad talking? Ruby, how would we even like do this? Like find something like that, because if someone knows about it, I'll never tell anyone.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And oh, Vulcan, when you guys left, how much do you remember of that?
I remember more of the stuff after. Most humans don't remember anything before they're 5.
Yeah, I was going to say you would have basically no direct recollection of things that were.
I would have what was told to
Alright.
me
Okay,
in education.
okay. Just as a memory guess, did you ever see any signs that pointed in the direction of a vault?
Yeah, of another one.
Yeah, or just like if you're traveling down at some point in your life, you're traveling down a road and you see a sign that points to a vault or something.
Some kind of symbol that would be like, hey, you're a vault dweller, you would know what this is. Exactly. I don't know. Frank?
Can Vulcan take a luck check?
No.
Was that a no?
That's 4 over.
4 over. You can't recollect any such signs. You sort of scan back to when you might have travelled around, and you can't recall details of those journeys.
Goes, no, that was a potato. Frank, what was that? No, it had nothing to do with the bouncing hula hoops. And he kind of like stammers off for a bit. No, I can't remember anything. I'm honestly surprised I remember to put my shoes on, and they're on the wrong feet. He's missing one. Yeah, he's missing a shoe.
He's just missing a shoe.
Yeah, he's just missing a shoe today.
Well, finding one of those things is going to be a very difficult task then.
They kind of built them everywhere, though.
I mean, I guess if we do find one, we could possibly try to get inside it and see.
Hmm.
Do you know anything from beforehand? Because
That was
you
asked
said
already.
something earlier about you having only special people were allowed in them.
They took the best and the brightest, he says with quotation marks, like he had heard it a bunch
Yeah,
of
he's
times.
had it drilled into him.
Like that scene in Men in Black, the best of the best of the best. Yeah.
So they were very selective with who were allowed to go in there.
Who were allowed to have any kind of access to them. Everyone had their own I assume that I would know that they had their codes to get inside.
Uh,
They probably all had cuties.
Yeah, they use those.
yeah,
Guessing
I mean, you'd
they'd
probably
plug their
guess something
QD
around
in.
that. Yeah, that'll
Yep.
allow us knowledge.
And you take that little wire and you put it into the interface on the machine, and then it goes boop boop, and then
So they all had these things.
everybody had those.
Well, then I have a question out of character, obviously. These cuties,
Yes.
were they, because they were the equipment that they had over there, were they specifically designed for that, or were they also for other purposes? And then does Ruby know about that? Or maybe Vulcan?
So in game world, I'm currently headcanoning that cuties were basically just fucking iPads for the masses.
Yeah, okay, so
They
they're
were
common.
there, they would communicate with them, they'd store all their bits of information on, they'd use them to, do all their
Okay.
shit.
Yeah, but it's not, so they're not specifically tied to vault dwellers.
No, they were a technological thing of the time that was used at the time.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
what? It's just where to start.
yeah.
Well, we have some information. It's somewhere that's supposed to be underground in a landmass that's big enough to make something that can contain more than they're in bad.
See,
Mountain.
and now I wonder how many of them there are, because, we've all heard the stories about them, but I've never actually seen or heard about where one is. Is
No,
there like, I don't know, 5 of them in a radius of 100 kilometer over here, or 50, or 1? How many of these things are there?
well,
Your characters would not be aware of it.
Yeah, exactly. That was my character speaking.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, yeah, it's
He was talking with Leon about that. Well, and I guess Vulcan.
depending on how much Vulcan is paying attention, other than
Yeah.
Him and Frank are playing patty cake.
Oh, okay.
See, but if there aren't very many of them, then it's pretty much an impossible task. But if they're somewhat abundant, then
Yeah, but then people would flock to live in those. They wouldn't live in bad. They wouldn't live in Torgau that turned into complete, like, that died out.
Yeah, why did you guys even leave that thing when it had everything? Yes, Vulcan.
The whole reason that they left the vaults was because it was time to leave the vaults.
No, she was on
Yeah,
about
but what?
Torgal.
Oh, Torgal?
No, the vault.
Oh, the vault. Oh, right.
Why is it time to leave the vault? Because now we seem to have agreed on that there's reason for us to try to live in one. But you guys had reason to go out of one.
The whole point was to take back the fucking planet. To rebuild, you can't just keep all of civilization inside of a tiny box.
Yeah, but then when you were all living out of the vault,
everything went to shit like the following week.
Yeah, but we're having a hard time. Why didn't you go back to it?
That's not something I can answer. That's something Rich has to answer.
Yeah.
Because there would be no reason that I would ever leave a vault if I had a
know
vault.
all those things.
What's the
System
history?
failure?
What's the history of Vulcan's family? So, from what I'm gathering from my side of input, at least, your family would have left as part of the first resettlement projects to, make ready for rebuilding the world. So what happened in the immediate years after Vulcan's family leaving?
Resources. Resources such as raw resources, not necessarily food. We had all of that. But things like metals and stuff like that, stuff you can only get on the surface, things like that, because you need stuff to build stuff.
Yeah, but I'm more interested in the direct what happened to your family basically in the post leaving years.
In the post leaving, they would have been part of the group that settled first, at least in that vault, to try to build up civilization. So that would have been their job.
Yeah, I mean, a number of people would have settled the area and begun reclamation.
And then they would have started rebuilding, taking from the rubble and trying to actually have something worthwhile come out of it.
What happened to Vulcan's family? Why particularly Vulcan finding himself having the So were your family killed in some way? Were you disposed of in some way?
The settlement would have been destroyed.
Okay, so
years down the road, like
some
maybe in
raiders
his teens,
or some shit, or
raiders, death claws.
Okay,
something
so the
crazy.
usual wasteland.
Yeah.
They found the wasteland to be too hospitable. It tore down whatever they'd managed to rebuild, and they found themselves in a hateful new world, basically.
They had intellect and knowledge, but this world was savage and brutal. So wrong skill sets.
What, then some of them probably did go back to the vault, and then I'm guessing your family didn't.
Yeah, my family didn't. They would have been murdered.
Yeah, so there you go. Your family was murdered in part of the whole thing, and you found yourself young, alone, in a world that hates everything.
Yep.
And you were taken in by, some... I mean, you can make whatever you like there.
Yeah. Insert some crazy hippie.
Well, also having medical knowledge is usually a good boarding pass, I guess.
Yeah. Botany. Dad was a botanist. Mom
so there we go.
was
Now we know why Vulcan ended up basically in the wasteland, because his family was killed whilst the rest of them ran off to safety.
Okay. That sucks.
I mean, it's wasteland. That's pretty tamed. He wasn't brutally raped or anything.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't. He didn't have his head squashed in a vice for a year, so yeah.
Yeah. Take the good.
Again, it's still not as sad as the backstory of Guts from the Berserk series, but that's a whole different thing. Okay. Vulcan, do you
the point is that Vulcan would not have the ability to open the vault even if he went back to the same vault, unless he found his old cutie, which got destroyed a long time ago. Or he hawked it. That's probably more.
He what?
He sold it.
Oh.
For drugs.
Because everyone had a cutie, including the teenagers. So.
Yeah, like, Mom, why don't I have a cutie? Yeah.
Exactly. And it was like, we'll get you one next Thursday. You have your brother's old cutie. It's not as good. Yeah.
So there we go. The story.
Let explode.
That's the story thus far. Then that now becomes canon.
Yes.
Boom. Well,
the point is, this place sucks. We should go back to that place.
Yeah, it's well, yeah. This is the first time you've told me of this. So yeah, it's.
Frank reminded me last night, but I got a little high and I forgot. You gonna eat that? He's pointing at nothing that's in your hands. As he goes and gets his second bowl of soup.
Off game, I got a bit hungry, so I am actually eating while you said that.
I heard you cutting veggies or something.
But yeah, so that's how that goes.
Okay.
So, discuss.
Well,
Not you, Frank.
Well, I agree that having access to one of those things is probably very nice if we can get it running. The task of finding one is possibly a
Yeah.
little too much right now.
Well, we would need a lot amount of data, and the only one I know that has a large amount of data is our neighbors next door. But I
Mm.
don't think they're in much of the sharing of a vault location mood.
Yeah, but also if they knew about one, they would probably have either looted it for stuff or have it in use for their own.
Well, the whole looting part I would definitely get because they did walk up here with a power armor that's fully functional. So
Yeah. But they did also. Oh no, never mind.
what were you thinking? Like, I'm stuck.
No, well, I was gonna say they did also have those vehicles that looked brand new, but that Ruby doesn't know about that. That was Arnica who saw that, and she
Uh,
wouldn't have taken note of that because that wasn't her thing.
oh yeah.
She doesn't care about that stuff. Well, we can always keep our eyes open for intel on things like that, and I guess how much involved with the military were those vault things?
Um,
Uh,
so,
Well, she asks Vulcan if he
well,
knows.
a
to
lot.
frame some things, the German effort was much more civil than the American effort. Um, because where America had the military industrial complex that was basically the driving force to their entire thing, pre-war Germany was nearly entirely focused on industrial capability because of the quickly diminishing basically access to fuels. So Germany was just doing all it could to become ever more progressive in industrial means. So the government at the time, headcanon for this game, was much more civil organized than military invested. So the vaults that exist here were part of a civil outreach program.
And does Vulcan know about that?
I presume that a lot of the
They were
education.
scientists, not military.
Yeah, I mean that's what as a person, you'd understand that when you were
So
growing up, there was a great focus on education, basically.
you said your parents were scientists.
Dad was a botanist, mom was an orthodontist.
That's not really scientists.
It's,
Botany, maybe.
Botany is not science.
Botany, maybe, but the other.
yeah, you have to learn biological nonsense, don't you? You can't just rip people's teeth
Yeah.
out.
Fine, she was a cybernetics expert.
Yeah, there you go.
There.
She was a cybernetics expert. Bam.
Yeah. Plants and robots. And?
Oh, this is difficult. Well,
Oh, you're trying to figure out.
I'm trying to figure out because there's a lot of stuff that Ruby would not know about pre-war stuff, so I can't ask about some things.
I applaud you for maintaining character cohesiveness.
It's very difficult.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't ask the follow-up question. I just can't.
Using.
Maybe.
Are we done with the vault interrogation then?
Hang on.
No?
Well, if they were all scientists in there, maybe we could, if we find old facilities, old research facilities, they might have clues to the whereabouts of some of these things.
An outpost type thing.
Actually makes a lot of sense because didn't you say that you found Ruby in some kind of like factory? Or no,
Quinn.
you found Quinn. Sorry, damn it. Yeah, I was.
Ruby spent a lot of time on like a little settlement that was basically an abandoned robot factory.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people that were robot enthusiasts, and they built robots from all the parts that were in that factory, and that's where Quinn was repurposed from as well, basically.
Well, it could make some sense that some of the people who maybe started up that place, or there might be some information that could lead to a vault. That's good.
Yeah, but that was just a robot manufacturing plant. That was not a research facility.
Well, people
And
that need to
Ruby,
research need to have their stuff made. Guessing. Like I've. I just like.
Ruby will just. I don't know of anything from back there that pointed to the location of one of those vaults. People talked about them, but never had any idea about any of them being around. And I'm sure if they had found some clues for that, they would have spoken up, or I guess possibly kept it to themselves. And
Yeah.
no, they were too tight in the beginning.
Because other than that, I have other than the tech guys who were here, the group of 9, which is probably not going to share anything, and your robot facility.
Wait a minute now. Wouldn't he have been given a job, something to do?
Who?
Leon, based on his skills.
Well, he would, but he's not been in town basically forever.
I was assigned like manufacturing, but there never was any job for me to do. I've asked them many times as a source of income.
Yeah, they always said we don't need that.
Yeah. So right now, Leon is just a person buying food from them and trading using he's just a normal citizen. I'm just citizen freeloading off their system, basically. Annoying their general staff.
Don't they have a library or some kind of... Does Bad have such a facility for learning things?
There's probably a very rudimentary schooling facility, but it's going to be ad hoc rather than anything serious.
Well,
where is
I am all for locating or trying to find research facilities and going through them.
Yeah, I kind of see where the enticement of this, but I also have to make the claim of aside from the random people that shows up and the occasional wolfies that come knocking on our door.
Literally, Ruby jokes.
Yeah. We are not not really missing anything right now. Like, we have food, we have warmth, we have shelter. We just survived the winter with minimal personal loss. He says a bit broken, or a bit hurt.
Yeah, that is true.
And we're about to see if we can get some power in here. We've made a source of water and wanted to want to grow plants. So if we just had a bit more to go on, but right now it's just like either go to 3 different locations, which could be far away, or look inside every single mountain there is around us.
Well, yeah, and looking inside the mountain, it's just the task of finding that elevator thing you spoke of.
Yeah, but how big that could be? Like, we could be searching for like months for that.
Yeah, on a single mountain.
Yeah. Again, okay. How much of this conversation is Vulcan a part of?
I mean, he's told you pretty much everything that he knows about
All right.
vaults. I'd say that's right, Rich. That's probably about as far as I would.
Yeah.
No. I mean in like Leon's little speech here, because it's just
Oh, that you want to stay here. He's not listening.
okay, fair enough.
He's kind of
Okay, because I didn't want to crush the man's dreams.
well, but the thing is that whatever we have here is nothing compared to what we would have if we had a vault that functioned. That being the keyword.
That is true.
Unless you build fucking automated turrets and somehow keep them steadily supplied.
Yeah. There are a lot of things that I would have to build or invent from scratch.
The thing is bogging down as we have has created one single problem, and that is that this is the world that we have.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I kind of want to explore more. Vulcan threw this out to kind of like offer enticing to go and do things. I get that you guys have built a whole lot of shit.
No, it's not me as a player. I don't give a shit about the stuff I've built. Leon as a character is like really invested in this because he's built an infinite water source. He's pseudo infinite, and he's built a power supply that's right now just pumping electricity into the ground. None of the things he's had before. Like, he's always been having to scrape by off other people's charity. But how about you, Ruby? Do you want to go?
I do.
All right.
But I just came up with an idea.
I'm all for new ideas.
Remember that iBot we ran into at one point? That I wanted to capture?
The one that wanted to go to Leipzig.
Yeah, that I do remember that one, yeah.
That thing was on an independent mission just doing stuff. They programmed it to fly around and broadcast its message.
That's true.
What if we get one and I modify and program it to scout areas for us? To like gather, to fly around and observe and then come back and relay all the information.
Other than the one that we've seen, I've never seen one of them. I've heard of them, but I've never seen one. That's I've to an extent, I would say it's more likely we would walk down the road and find a road sign that says this way to a facility.
Well, we had several of them where I used to reside.
Well, then I would say probably the highest possibility of this actually working, that would be your place. Your old
Yeah, if they're still
stomping ground.
around.
Yeah, your old stomping ground looking over at Quinn's mighty feet.
Well,
So
if they didn't fall apart from the inside out, they're probably still there because they had their defenses well in order.
all right. Well, could you get us in there?
Maybe. Probably. I only left there because I wanted to learn more things about some technologies that we found clues and parts of that we didn't understand.
Okay. I guess that we are doing this. Leon's very, very hesitant. Just um, but yeah, then we would need to stock up on stuff. And Vulcan, are you sure you would even be able to handle going out for a long trip?
Oh, probably not. I'll probably die before we get there, but that's besides the point.
No, no. Actually, you're the one who wanted to go there because you wanted to get something done. So we would actually go. That is because it's exactly your point. But well, okay. What do we need if we had to go on this journey? Vulcan.
Radiation protection.
All right.
That's it. Because the
Well,
weather's getting warmer. Oh, I suppose guns. But radiation is going to be the biggest problem.
okay. Well, Ruby, in what direction did you say that your old place were?
Uh,
North, east?
yeah, out of character. I think that was south, wasn't it, Rage?
From your location, south.
Yeah. So, well, that was south from here.
All right. I would say they're probably the best.
There's
I'm thinking.
there's a
Hmm?
farming town that you come on first, and then it was the next town after that.
Okay. I would probably also go and ask the group of 9 if they have any outposts in there. If I could use my citizenship there, because
And
and I could.
I said town, but it's more of a fortress that they turned it into, or at least when I left.
Okay, that's. Oh, okay. I would still probably go at them if they had any outposts, like we could supply up on the way or something like that. If needed, but okay. So, how much of how much of all the things we have can we actually bring with us? And how would
Well, whatever fits on the cart, I guess.
so we having Quinn pull the cart?
Probably.
Yeah. Uh, Leon just rubs his face really hard, like he's torn to shit for having to leave the place.
Well, we
um,
should probably first wait a bit until it gets a bit warmer before we try to make that journey.
yeah, that would make sense. We could use the time to stock up on different things.
Yeah.
Make like canisters having like water in because we won't be able to take this along with us.
Mhm.
The same with like so much of the stuff we've built here can't take along. The hydrogen plant would just unless we return, that would probably just go to waste. The
what plants?
power plant in the river.
The pseudo hydroelectric.
Well, we can take it out of the water and just throw it in the building somewhere over here.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. We could. Hoping someone doesn't steal it. Well, I guess we're gonna start prepping to make a very long journey south.
Okay. We probably need a lot more food first.
Eat
The food
food,
you have
water.
got is actually good enough for about 3 months, depending on actual usage, but
3 months?
from what I've calculated.
Don't argue.
Okay. Also, then all we need to do really is just well, hang on, I have an idea. I know they have a radio communication system, and I know their frequency. So if I get a strong enough antenna over here, I could possibly contact them to see if they're even still there and ask them if it's okay if we come that way.
Yeah. Anything we can do to help with that communication? Like, probably need a bigger antenna.
Yeah, we need to get power in the building, and I need to build a radio booster to where I can connect my QT to, I guess. Which
Alright.
is mostly just a big antenna and then some other things.
Okay. Well, I'll be happy to help, but I think I'm better at just punching a hole in the wall and pulling a cable in. Which, by the way, Rich, a building like this, wouldn't that actually have potential power cables running into it, like from the telephone poles?
More than likely, but as was discussed when you first chose this particular spot, all of the existing power cables on the telegraph poles had been torn away, and
Oh
all
yeah,
of the cabling inside of the building is basically missing because you're not the
yeah,
first here.
yeah, exactly. Well, well, I'm just gonna see if I can scout if where the hole is that they had the cable running through, so we can just run that cable through that hole and off to the place where the rest of the cable is.
A cursory inspection will find that they had an electrical conduit at the back of the building.
Okay.
He says, selecting the pen tool.
Oh, you can't do that, remember? That's why
back
we used
here.
the flag. Oh, you actually
No.
can. Oh, sweet.
Oh, crap. Apparently I can't do it that well. I'll use another flag.
Yeah.
Control. There we go. A flag. I'm going to make it tiny and yellow.
Sweet.
I shall call it electric.
Power conduits. Like, oh,
Okay, power conduit. Why not?
I don't know. Like that.
No, like that.
Oh yeah, that works too. That's better.
Power conduit.
Yeah.
But it's like one of those, like, it's an old, pre-war, the box that it's rusted, the box that it is all fitted to is rusted as hell. There were once upon a time, like, breaker switches and things in this this box, but it's now long since become useless.
So, but there is a legit like hole through the wall.
Yeah, this box itself has what would have once been the main feeds, sort of industrial scale cabling going into the building, but now it's just a rusty box on the side of a building.
All right. Well,
Does sound like you can use that though.
What do you mean?
Use it to, because I would imagine the powers that fed through the wall are still, or the cables, because they would still be there. Or at
No,
least
no.
something. If they move them out, then there are holes in the wall.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Leon's just gonna be inspecting this thing and preparing to pull their very heavily makeshift power cable through it. And just
Talking of
mumbling.
all things cabling, you haven't actually yet put your cabling together.
Nope.
It still exists in various parts. I know some of you have engineering electrics. Is that a thing?
Yep.
Absolutely. I only learned robotics from her.
Well, to the cable, are you going to be assisting Leon with his cabling dilemma?
Cable management.
Well, if he asks for help, sure.
Oh, Leon will definitely like.
Then yeah, she'll help him.
Yeah.
Okay, you've still got enough time in the day, so can Ruby give me an electronics engineering roll?
Huh?
Nice!
That's 10 under, I think.
Okay, nearly a perfect crit, and by the rules, it does count as a crit success. So,
Nice.
you sit down and begin braiding and connecting the various bits of wire and whatnot, and you're sort of sweating and puffing. It takes you longer than usual because you're very methodical. You make sure that everything's connected and perfectly tight, and you're like, yes, that's
It's
so.
insulated.
Yeah,
More
like you
importantly.
spend so long, and like each bit, like you double look at it, and it starts getting dark before you even sort of. Yep, that's finally it, and finally you've got a length of cable that you are happy with.
And Leon is wondering why Ruby's hair is not braided like that all the time. Like that would seem so much more efficient. But he doesn't say anything.
Well, she has a hairbrush now, but
Yeah.
Fancy hairbrush.
A fancy hairbrush. Because Leon thought that you might be happy for having that.
Yeah, she does also have. Where is it?
A box made of Maybelline.
Where? An electrical engineering kit.
You're
And that
really not going to
probably,
need it.
but that probably has a multimeter, right?
For intents and purposes, is it a kit that gives you bonuses? The contents of it are ephemeral to the effect.
Okay, but for RP purposes. So
For
she
our,
can
yeah.
actually test to see if the completed cable actually works and what the resistance on it is and everything.
Yeah, so you'll probably, I mean, if you would like, you can, for purely RP purposes, based on your methodical ways, you can take a fatigue point to work into the night, basically, as you're sat sort of beavering away, like making sure that, yeah, that bit's right, and then like, yeah, that bit's right.
Yep, that's happening, so I'm taking the points. There we go.
And not to be outdone, Leon's definitely staying up until she goes to sleep.
Oh, so Leon's just like, I'm gonna go, so she's working, I'm working.
Yeah, he's gonna make sure that this hole in this wall will be the most gentle hole that any cable has ever come in contact with.
Okay.
Also making sure there's a good connection point on the outside of the building.
Yeah, I mean, you can spend time trying to do your own renovation to. Do you don't have electrical engineering, do you?
Nope, but I have a repair and I have a strength of 11.
Can you give me a science roll?
I shall give me your science roll. Which for some reason I can't click. Oh, the hell. Okay. Oh,
Try that again, but with more dice.
I can't click on the number 3.
Ah, number 3's dead.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Right,
Huh?
Leon dies.
Oh no!
I can click on it. Or does it not work?
Hang on.
There's no
1,
dice.
2, hang on. 2, 3,
The hell?
4. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just try again. Is it coming up with the red buttony thing?
Oh yeah, 3. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there
But
is a red button on it. Yeah.
3 doesn't do anything.
Ah. That's
4
There we
does.
go. There we go.
that counts. He rolled 3 dice. I'm counting it.
Aw.
Ah, that sucks. That's because that's 2 over. Ah, that. Ah, damn it. Oh,
Still a failure. All right, even
yeah.
with the redo, it's a failure. Well, thankfully, the wiring work that Ruby has done is exemplary. So aside from the fact that whilst you're trying to make this hole better, you make it slightly worse,
Oh,
Ruby's cabling will counteract your haphazard
okay. So we're not
efforts.
losing anything.
No.
All right. Well, that's a good thing. Leon be the clumsies.
Yeah, you
So,
just ham-fisted your way through that one.
as Ruby is done, then she tells Leon, well, we're gonna put this in the ground. We should probably get some tools to make the digging a bit easier.
Well, I was thinking that we for the part that we haven't dug down, we could just run it on the poles with all the other like discarded bits and just run it into the ground for where the connection point was. So we don't have to dig anything. We just have to attach it to the existing telephone poles or power poles.
Yeah, we could, but that does make it a lot more vulnerable.
That's true. That is true indeed. Well, you would have the same amount of vulnerability if you put it into the ground, like due to rainwater and such.
Yeah, but it's insulated, so it should be fine.
Okay. Well, uh, shovel and a pickaxe?
Yeah, something like that. I think last time we used my crowbar as a
Yeah.
makeshift picking tool, but yeah, a little better doesn't hurt.
Well,
I mean,
can
what's a shovel? It's just a metal plate on a stick.
yeah, I think
Shouldn't
a
be too
pick.
hard to make one, or
I
maybe
mean,
find
you've
one
got a
even.
stop sign, and I think you've still got that crowbar. That's basically a shovel right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
well,
the
actually, a pickaxe
crowbar.
would be better. A pickaxe is actually a lot better for doing.
I'm
Like,
sure a pickaxe would be exemplary, but do you
yeah.
have one?
You need the combination of the two. You pick the hard stuff into small bits, and you shovel the small bits away.
Yep, that is the use of a
Well,
shovel and a
if you
pickaxe.
happen to know a decent tool outlet that's still open.
Bauhaus.
I mean, maybe IKEA is still open. You can check.
No, legit Bauhaus. It's a hardware store in
I know.
Germany.
I was just referring to the
Oh
IKEA as a thing reference.
yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure I could probably just go ask in bed if if Group 9 has any we could
That's not a bad idea.
purchase a pickaxe because yeah, I think the stop sign just need to bend it a bit and then that's a perfectly good shovel.
Hmm.
Um, or we could try to see if we can find stuff to make a pickaxe with.
Yeah. Well,
We could
the
also
stop
do that.
sign would be part one. If
Yeah,
you
but
still
still use the
have
stop
it.
sign for a shovel. I wouldn't make a two-in-one tool because it would be quite inefficient. Like if I did the digging with the pickaxe and if you could shovel some of it, the loose dirt to the side, that would be more efficient,
Mm.
I would say. I don't think Vulcan's gonna be digging any holes.
Well, Ruby's looking at the pile of stuff and she can't find the stop sign.
Oh, it might have been used.
I think
What?
it might have
We
been used,
may
but
have
I can't find it in my
used it
list.
with something.
What the hell?
Oh, I
Haas.
think it got used on the. No, I think it got used on the still.
Hmm.
Oh, that could
Oh,
be.
that could definitely be it. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, okay. Well, then I guess I could ask in bad if they had, if the trader was there that he had. Oh wait, no, I already saw all his stuff. He didn't have
Hang
the pickaxe.
on.
What?
And she pulls out the head shears from the pile. Maybe this can be used for something.
What do you pull out?
Head shears.
A
Maybe
hedge
you can make a
Hedge
pickaxe or something.
Yeah. Sorry, my girl's mother just wrote, so it's just like what? Oh yeah, head shears. Yeah, we can easily turn
And
that
then
into.
she pulls out the wooden broom handle.
Yeah, that's
I
could
mean, you
Or
do.
could
perhaps
improvise
this.
a kind of picky type hoe type diggy thing.
Yeah.
Perhaps this. She pulls out a metal curtain rod.
Didn't we use that?
No, that one's not been
No?
used, I don't think.
Okay. Well, the
And
broom
Amelia's
handle
pretty
and
good at keeping track of things, so
yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, then I guess I would probably use the broom handle, the shears, and the curtain rod to reinforce the broom handle
Hmm.
to make into a pickaxe.
well, you are a gadgeteer,
I am indeed a gadgeteer.
so for the functions of what you've just said, yes, you can, as it says there, use processed materials. Blah, blah, blah.
Hmm?
You have a toolkit, don't you?
I do. It's down here.
You have a machine. This will come under your machinist toolkit because this is going to be you trying to form this thing into its new
Hmm. Yeah.
remit.
Yeah, I'm not repairing an existing thing. I'm
Yeah.
making something.
So put one use against your machinist toolkit,
All right.
and cross off all of the things you've just mentioned, plus
So the wooden broom
2
handle.
scrap wires,
Okay.
which will become basically integral binding.
That's down to 36. So the broom handle, the curtain rods. What was the other? The head shears, right?
Yes, the head shears.
Done.
And so whilst you're finishing up your evening, making sure the cable is prepared, Leon will be preparing that, so you can now put improvised pickaxe as an item on your inventory.
If
Yeah.
is that going on the pile or?
Yeah. Make a new column that says that's called tools.
Yeah, I have a tools column.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Improvise
Improvised pickaxe.
pickaxe.
Yeah.
There we go.
Uh,
I guess
well,
I could use this to shovel, and she pulls out the metal saucepan.
Yeah, you could use it to shovel.
Makeshift.
I mean, it's a
you want
saucepan. You can move stuff in it. It's got a handle.
yeah. Looking at it like, do we have anything in the pile so I can maybe make that a longer handle? Just looking at Ruby standing with a saucepan in her hand, just thinking she's going to be bending down a lot for doing
Yeah, she
that.
fiddles through all the stuff, and
And he's not thinking dirty, okay? He's not.
no, she didn't find anything.
Well, I take a piece of wood from our wood pile.
I guess that could work.
Well, Rich? Would I?
Unless we want to keep the pan in one piece.
No, your wood pile won't contain anything that would be useful for this.
Okay.
Well, just use the pan. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Just don't hurt your back.
I'll be careful.
Alright, well, I'm guessing then tomorrow, if it's not completely the worst weather in existence, we'll be digging a trench.
Yeah.
Very long trench.
Cool. Can
We'll
I just
probably...
can I interrupt something just for the Mr. Frosto? After last session, did you buy any skills or anything?
No.
No. Okay. Right. I've got some weird notes, and I'm wondering why I've got them. But okay.
I was thinking about it, but I decided against it.
Right. Okay.
Are you eating? Frosty?
No.
No.
I shall cross
Okay.
off my previous notes.
You just sound muffled.
Okie dokie. Yeah.
No.
Sorry. Carry
Oh.
on with the. I will say you're like I say you've been working into the night, so you're going to have to rest before you can get any more stuff done.
Yeah, let's go to bed. We'll deal with the rest tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
And none of you went outside today, so there's no endurance checks for that kind of nonsense. You've got the protection of the house, so I can't be bothered to do the... In fact, I'll tell you what, I'll do it anyway. Here's the radiation check.
We all died.
What a surprise, it failed. Because you're inside.
It was not radical enough today.
So there's no detrimental effects other than does anything random happen throughout the day which we might need to attend to, which... random generator, anyone? Where's the random generator? Lost it. Here it is. Bang. Anything?
Oh, 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 boy.
Okay, so this one is going to be completely voluntary to whether or not you get involved in it.
Okay.
Because the only way I can introduce this event is you hear screaming. It's like off into the distance.
What?
Like,
When do we do this? Is this when we're sleeping or?
No, this would have happened just before you'd settled into making your wire.
In the evening when it's dark, or when
No,
was this?
this is afternoon. This is considered. So I considered that you
Okay.
did your wiring in the evening into the night.
okay, is that like
Well,
a screaming for help? Or
It is. Oh, hang on 2 seconds. I just need to respond to a message.
because if it's just someone screaming someone dying, then it's someone's just getting attacked by some random ass wild thing.
1 second, chaps. Right, sorry about that. Yeah, so it's quite far away, and I'm going to say for ease of making this fit in the world, that the noise of this event is nearly due south from your location, so past what would be the trap house.
and it's human screaming that we hear.
It is human screaming. And it's far away. You hear the corners of it on the wind, as it were.
Well, Ruby's gonna take a look outside the window and see if she can see anything.
It is snowing today, but give me a perception check.
That fails by 3.
Okay, well, between the flurries of snow and the broken ruins that you're looking through, you can't see anything.
Is it a woman screaming or a man?
It is a secret roll. It is a female scream.
Just let someone screaming like that. Ruby's gonna take a look with Gwen.
So you're taking Quinn out.
Yeah.
What about the
up
other
ahead.
people in the establishment?
Well, Leon noticing that Ruby is heading out decides that okay, then he'll follow. Like he wasn't gonna do anything beforehand, but it was just like because he was still deeply in the thought of like the possibility of leaving all the stuff they've made.
Give me some Kit Kats.
What?
Yeah,
Vulcan
like
rolls over and
sees you
snores.
leaving, and yeah, just give me some Kit Kats.
Oh, Vulcan is sound asleep, not hearing all of this.
No, he's really stoned.
So he's asking for a candy none of us know what it is.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, yeah, Leon's like picking up his stuff and heading out with.
Okay, so as you exit the building and you remove the barrier of having walls around you, the screaming is a little bit more prevalent, but now you can also hear the rapid bursts of gunfire.
Ooh.
Okay, well, Ruby's gonna keep Quinn in the middle of the street a bit, and then she uses the buildings to stay in cover as they approach.
Yeah.
And she's just looking ahead to see what the hell it is.
Are you deliberately trying to keep yourself hidden? If so, give me a sneak roll.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's that one?
I'd usually do it for you on the sneak,
Oh my god.
but
I
you can
failed
do it
by a
yourselves
lot.
today.
Oh
wow.
My
I
dice
failed
rolling
by
thing
6.
will not fucking work. Come on. There we go. Nope.
All right,
I
so
failed by 8.
you're both being about as stealthy as Quinn.
Quinn.
But Quinn is out in the middle of the street, and
True.
I will be trying to use cover though, or
Yeah,
trying
so
to move through
I'll
cover.
give you the fact that you're moving in and out of the broken buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you move down the street. Probably as you like you say toward that intersection, you can begin to see the very distant movement and the flashes of gunfire that are off down the very edge of the town, or the edge of the ruins, I should say. Let me just, because you're having to move, I need to adjust what's happening in time. So, can someone give me 3 rolls? So 3 dice each time.
3 of 3.
Yeah, just get, like, 3 skill roll check, basically.
That's the first. 12.
Okay.
8.
Okie dokie.
11.
So yeah, there's sporadic gunfire. And then something else lights up the dim afternoon lighting, backlit by the forests off in the distance. And it is the very recognizable sheen of energy blasts. And then screaming followed by not screaming.
So we hear a lot of gun, like energy blast and screaming, and then everything just goes quiet.
Well, you see the energy blast. There's a lot of screaming, and then that screaming goes away very quickly. But you can still see movement down in the distance. So they're what's that? About 200 yards away. So you can make that out shapes now. 200, 250 yard away.
And did it look like the gunfire was coming from a different spot than where the laser fire was from?
You can tell that yeah, this is an exchange of firefight going on.
Oh. Uh, okay, but they're too far away to be able to see. They
Well,
have
like you
uniforms
can
or
just about
anything.
make them out in the I mean, you know, it's far enough away you can see the objects of things moving around down there.
Okay. Well, there's no cover here anymore.
No,
Nope.
the cover that you're in, the edges of the ruins, quickly fades away into just broken, you know, spots of bits of rubble and you know, the occasional clump of grass or something.
I guess we can stay and look for a bit and see if we can identify anything or seeing where these figures are going.
Do you hang around for a little bit?
Yeah, just a little bit. Doing anything?
Uh, the gunfire and the returning laser fire continues briefly. You can hear yelling in a male voice. Can't make out what's being said, but you can hear the yelling.
Ruby looks at Leon. Well, what do we do?
It sounded like whoever was screaming that we were, I'm guessing, out here trying to save is no longer able to be saved.
Yeah.
So we would basically just be picking a fight with someone that, because it did. I'm guessing this could be a bit of a one-sided fight. So
Yeah, whatever they were up against
yeah.
might be fairly dangerous.
Well, Quinn could probably scare most of it away, but then again, like, what are we hoping for other than
Yeah, I guess
more
we'll
equipment?
just go back.
Um, yeah, unless someone yells or something, then
Well,
yeah.
there's near constant like someone is yelling off in the distance. You can still hear that
Oh, okay.
like a male voice yelling.
Can we understand what he's yelling about?
No, it's too distant to pick out words.
Uh,
Like, is he yelling in a form of like telling people what to do in form of a combat, or telling people to
Too far to
pick up?
make anything like that out. You can't get what this yelling is from your distance.
I guess we could stay in cover and I could send Quinn a bit forward and have him broadcast
Does he
my
have a video?
voice. Huh?
Oh, there's no camera on him, right? You can't see through Quinn, can you?
Well, he can see, but I don't think my QT can display video
Okay.
streams.
Not from Quinn, no.
Wait, my QT has the ability to display video streams?
You have the ability to view video, but you can't have remotely viewed video from Quinn.
Okay, that's something that I could make potentially.
You won't need to make a perception roll for the following because it's very noticeable. So off in the distance, you can hear this male yelling intermittently, and then you see a brief lull in the laser fire, followed by a huge gout of fire that just erupts in a huge fireball down in the distance.
Is that where the laser came from?
It looks like it's coming from the same place.
Well, yeah, but where the lasers were being shot from, or is it from the side where the
From where the lasers were coming.
That's weird.
And you can just, like I say, you're close enough. You can see things moving about, and you can just about see an object which your estimates would place probably around the same size as a big-ish car.
Oh. And that is now on fire.
It's not on fire, but that's where the fire was. From this distance, you would certainly see if something was on fire.
But there's a big object there that's about the size of a car that's moving
Yes.
and shooting.
Yes.
Hmm. Dang it.
Ruby says, Leon,
Hmm.
that might be a robot.
That
That
might
thing that's moving over there, and she points.
Okay. Do you do you think we can handle it? And can we see how many other people there are over there?
Yeah, do we see any humanoid figures running around there?
Before the gout of fire erupted into being, you could see one humanish sized thing, but it appears to have either ducked away or gone somewhere. You assume
Okay.
that's who was yelling.
Can I have a look at my QT at its radio receiver to see if there are any particularly strong new signals?
One second, let me check my notes. So the only strongish signal that you can see currently is broadcasting on a wavelength of... Was I doing it in batches of 4 previously?
Batches of 4, what do you mean?
The decimal number frequencies.
I have them as, like, for example, 0.3563.
So
That's
yeah,
one of them.
yeah, 4 okay. Well, this one is 0.5854 on the old spectrometer. By the way, if any of
Did you
these...
say 5854?
Yes.
And it's pretty strong.
Pretty strong.
Okay, so it could be that that thing has some kind of signal going on. Can I attempt to identify it or break into it or something?
Yeah, you certainly can. Give me a computer programming to start with. What's that based on? Science?
I have the skill. And
So yeah, science
this
plus 1.
I passed it by 2.
In which case, yeah, you've identified a signal in this thing. It is incredibly similar to the one that you've been chasing. And because you've
Really?
understood that one, if you would like to understand more, you can begin to try and hack it to
Yeah,
understand a
I'd
little
like
bit.
to.
Okay, give me a computer hacking then. So science plus 2.
That's 4 under? No, 5 under.
5 under. Okie dokie. much like before, the biggest thing that you're able to pick out easily and quickly is sets of coordinate details.
Sets of coordinate details. And the other one is also still there, right?
Yes.
I have an idea.
Also, I'm going to do some more rolls because time has passed.
I have an idea, but I don't really want to do it.
Another flurry of laser fire, which thuds into the distant undergrowths, and then you can just hear someone screaming with fury. Like these are screams of anger. You don't need to hear what the words are. You can tell this is anger.
Ruby says to Leon, Leon, hang on. Can you stay here for a moment with Quinn? And Ruby walks back the other direction towards the house, towards the inn, and she monitors the strength of that new signal on her QT to see if it gets weaker at about the rate she would expect from if that robot was broadcasting it. Or that thing that she thinks is a robot.
It does get weaker, but insignificantly. I mean, you can tell that there's a fall off in signal, but it's quite strong enough that your QT is able to pick it up with very little variance.
Yeah, but does the dropping of the signal strength indicate that it would come from there?
You do not have enough variable to determine that. What did I just roll? What was the last number I rolled?
Right, she walks back to where they are.
Why have my rolls disappeared? I can't read any of the rolls.
No. The last 4, you mean, or 5?
I actually
Hello?
can't see anything in the chat at all.
What if I type
Oh,
some?
there we go. Hang on. There we go. Oh, what the hell? If you make the chat too
Yeah,
big, it disappears.
I've
Oh yeah, it does. Ah,
That's annoying.
I,
10. Okay. Yep.
right. So Ruby walks back to Leon.
okay.
Uh,
Where? Why did you go? What's going on?
I was testing something.
You
Um,
you learn anything?
can I copy a piece of the signal that the thing is sending? And can I then broadcast that on the same frequency? Like some of
So
those coordinates.
trying to mimic what it's doing, basically.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, you do that. What are you particularly looking for from this experiment?
Well, I can kind of see this thing, right? This object.
Yeah.
Does it do anything different, or does it
Um,
start? Does
you
the signal also change?
So as you're looking at, I mean, the first thing um, you can see that there's still gunfire coming from somewhere, and then another massive burst of laser fire. So let me just do a GME 3 dice roll. And check my notes. There's no change, or from your distance, there's nothing you can see that's changed about the object.
What
and
about
how
the
it's acting.
signal?
The signal, the one that you're tracking, appears to be constant without any variance.
So even if I'm sending stuff on the same channel.
Yeah, I mean you're clearly causing a lot of interference because you're basically doubling up its own signal. But the one that you're tracking appears to be unchanged.
Yeah, I guess. Is there anything that I can do to try to hack into it more, or?
I mean you can try, but at the moment you would be best guessing code elements required.
Okay. Well, I guess let's just watch and see what happens, Leon.
Okay, well,
Hey,
as you're thumbing away at your QT figuring this out, and the explosions of gunfire, and the returning zaps of charged lasers, comes to a halt. The object, the large object, appears to move about the area somewhat. And that's where you currently sit.
Okay.
The
wait a minute.
gunfire has stopped.
So is the thing leaving or is it just staying there?
It's moving about the area.
That thing that was that big thing humanoid in shape?
No.
Okay, because for a moment I thought like it could be someone inside a power armor. That
It's
would
not
be
the size of one of those Panzer things, right?
The Panzergigant thing that
Yeah.
the Haas encountered. No. No. That was bigger again than this. Like that thing was practically a freaking house on legs. This is small by comparison.
okay. So well, it seems that the fight is over. Want to walk over there or?
Well, I'm not sure how that thing is going to respond to us because it seems to still be active.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it could be that those people started a conflict with it, but it could also be that it attacked them.
true. And the other thing is, we don't know if there's someone else using that, like the same way that you use Quen.
Yeah, and but I kind of want to wait until it wanders off, and then we could maybe see if there's some stuff that we could take from, the fallen.
Yeah, could be useful on our coming journey.
Yeah,
What will we do
exactly.
if it? What will we do if it starts coming towards us?
Probably move away.
Hide and hope,
Yeah.
right? Um, sure. Seems
Let's
like
keep
a
watch and see what it does for a bit.
okay. This seems like a perfectly good idea. Yeah, let's. Okay. Yeah. Leon's not very much enjoying this, but there is some logic behind the thinkings.
The signal that you're tracking, you still monitoring that?
Yeah.
It has shifted away from the coordinates and appears now to be giving relative detail coordinates. So sort of point A, point B type descriptions of like, well, the way you're looking at it, two sets of coordinates that seem to be linked somehow. And you'll notice that the big thing is slowly coming towards you.
Okay. Right, let's go and move the other way, Leon.
Sure.
Leave Quinn between us and the thing. Yeah, and see if is it still coming towards us?
It is still coming towards you. And it appears to be gaining on you.
All right.
It
We
is
might want
getting
to.
bigger from your apparent perspective.
So, does this thing have wheels or legs? Can we see that already?
From your somewhat distant perspective, you can now pick out that it appears to have 4 giant legs that it's walking on.
Leon, I think we need to speed up a little.
What?
I think we might have to speed up a little.
Okay.
So we run a bit faster.
Who is the slowest between you two? And
I
Quinn
think
may
it's
be important.
me.
Speed 10.
I have encumbrance 2.
Your encumbrance 2. Is that current with all your, like, are you
Yep.
carrying it? Okay, so your encumbrance 2. What's your move rate?
5, so that's down to 3. I think Quinn's 4, so he's faster than me actually.
All right, so Quinn's actually
But
okay.
I want him behind
Yeah,
me.
yeah, you're keeping it. Yeah, okay. Can you make an agility check for me then?
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh,
Fail by 2.
you are finding it hard going to pick up the pace. And you're aware that this thing is closing on you, and you can now see the gentle sheen of a metallic body with these 4 stompy, like, ploddy legs that jut out the side of it.
Can we go left here to break line of sight in this this street?
So you want to
This
try
way?
and take down the street to get out of
Yep.
line of sight. Absolutely,
Yep.
you can try and dodge out of the way.
And then see if it keeps following us.
Right, now I'm going to have to do some actual secret GM rolls. What is this nonsense? Me having to do work? What the hell?
It's good for you.
Is it though? Right, secret rolls. And then... So, you take the corner, you begin scuttling down the street. It's a little bit overgrown, but it's still mostly a street.
I want to record the signal, by the way. I want to.
The parameters that you're like these numerical parameters that you're able to pick out keep changing sporadically. So every like nearly every 2 seconds or so, there seems to be a different set of coordinates that are taking place.
I want to record the sequences of those coordinates,
Yeah, in
and
which
as they
case,
change and
put
stuff.
down that you have a recording of coordinate details.
And I want to keep doing that.
And you scuttle down the street with Quinn following as your backup.
Yep.
And I look in this box.
I want to also, if I can, if I have the time for it while I'm running, note down timestamps.
Yeah, I mean any
At
information
certain intervals.
Yeah, any information your QT can get, it is getting. So.
Okay, but also write down personal notes of what we were doing when this
Okay,
was
yeah. So
recorded. So
putting
like
in
we're
like
turning
little
left
quick
and we
dash
were
notes of
moving
what's
that
going
way.
on.
We were in between this and this.
So I'm going to call this Robot. And because I said it was a quadruped,
Are you sure that's a good idea? Okay.
Ta-da!
Okay. Well, I remember messing around with that feature.
Yeah, I know how it works though.
Well, I do too, but it was a bit
Is that a
finicky.
robot centipede you're making? Gah.
So yeah, robot.
Okay.
There we go. Big robot stomps down the road. You're stomping down. Well, you're scuttling down this road. I
Yep.
presume
And
you're
as soon as
using the buildings at
yeah,
the side.
yep. And as we get here, I want to go up this way to break line of sight again. If the thing is coming into the street as well.
The thing corners as you are turning.
Is that you saying that it has seen us?
It has seen, or at least you think it has seen, your final moment in this street.
Is it following, or do I not know?
That's for the dice to say.
Well, at least it's good to know that Leon, Vulcan has decided that it is a high likelihood that he will die where he is. He might die of loneliness soon.
um. So where did you
No,
say
this
you were
is like
scuttling off to?
popcorn shit.
Sorry?
Where did you say you were scuttling off to?
I need the line tool. Around this corner.
So
So
you're
up this
dodging
way.
off, okay, into the like the broken, brackish sort of wilderness
Yep.
before town. Yeah. And you were trying to see if it was following you, yeah?
Yeah, I guess if I didn't see it, we'll just keep moving in this direction and keep watching over
Give me a perception
over
check.
here.
There will be a slight modifier to this, but only I know that because that's my choice.
See
No.
if the thing rounds the corner.
Should I also roll a
If
perception
if
check?
you're also checking, then yes.
I
Well,
passed
yeah.
by 4.
Pass by nothing. No,
Okay.
one over.
Your glances over your shoulder tell you the rate at which it was gaining on you, you would expect to have seen it. And you haven't.
Okay. Well, we're moving this way.
Yep.
I want to get to this road over here.
Yeah.
And possibly up there, and then look this way to see if we can see it.
Let me dice roll for this because I can't decide. So you're going across this road and then looking through these, like the upper scale of these ruins here.
Over here, and then possibly over here, and then have a look if we can see past our house into that street, if we can see it.
You cannot make out the robot.
Can we see this crossing a bit, or at least...
You can just about make out what would be that crossing head.
Ruby looks at Leon. Where the hell did it go? Has the signal changed?
The signal has changed and it's got more information being sent along with other coordinates again, looking like linked sets of coordinates. So the coordinates always come in 2 sets.
2 sets.
Followed by information that you can't pick out.
Do we really want to find this thing, or do you?
Well, hang on. Considering that we're now over here. What to do? I want to get an eye on it again, but I have an idea. Let's move this way.
Mhm.
Stay close to the group of 9 border. Then move that way. Then move that way. Then go over here and take cover and observe to see if there's anything going on over here.
Apparently I can only colour tint half of that. It's annoying.
Well, it's black and white.
Yeah, apparently. So you're moving around what would be the edge of the Group of 9 outposts.
Yeah.
Around
Yep.
to the southern
here.
point of the ruins.
Oh,
Here.
okay.
This is where we're taking cover and having a look at this.
Give me sneak rolls then.
Oh god.
Sneak rolls?
Yep, you said you were trying to take cover.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, roll, you fucking dice.
But yeah, I guess it's a bit sneaky as well.
There we go.
I fail by 5?
I
Oh.
passed by 2. What the hell?
Okie dokie. So you move round into the southern point of the ruins. And you begin glancing around, trying to look out for this robot thing.
Also, the strength of that signal.
The strength of the signal is still pretty strong. Give me a straight up science roll for this.
Okay. Pass by 6.
You begin using the Qt's internal function. Set up a rudimentary measurement variance sort of calculator, and your Qt reports back that it estimates that the signal is dropping.
Okay, so the signal is getting weaker. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Right, Leon, let's... Do we see anything moving over there, by the way, or anything going on over here?
You don't see anything moving.
I'm hearing robot
What do you think,
noises
Leon? Should we go and have a look?
From Amelia.
And I'll keep watching the signal strength on that thing's signal. Or if I think it's the thing's signal, we'll find out.
Oh, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sorry.
Okay, it's just because you were cutting out like the reception was bad.
Oh.
And I couldn't hear anyone else, and I thought like maybe I was disconnecting or something.
No, I can hear you all right.
Yeah?
Oh, alright, okay, whatever you've been saying for the last 2 minutes or so, I could not hear any of it after my roll. It was just neat.
Well, I was contemplating with you about going to take a look at where that fight happened.
Yeah. Yeah, that was still the plan until we got shooted away by the
robot, yeah.
The robot. I think the last thing I heard was something about this. You were asking about you were getting told something about the signal strength, and I did not hear the result of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, the result of that was that I said to Amelia that the signal strength had been dropping. Her QT worked out for her that it's been dropping off, and basically let her know.
Okay. Okay. So as far.
Oh.
Whoa!
Oh! Wow!
What was that?
I'm not doing that again then.
What'd you do?
I did a thing. Hey,
okay.
You were right, Frosty. You press L and everything fucks off.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I was worried about doing.
Yeah.
What the hell is that button? Reload?
Apparently that's kill everything.
Right, but with Quinn ahead.
Okay, so Quinn's ahead
Ruby...
of you, right?
we're gonna take cover by this building by the back probably, and Quinn just waltzes around over here.
Okie doke.
And then I guess we just look around and listen if there's any noises or see if there's any movement.
The equivalent of doing an investigation check.
We're sneaking over and we're being all tactical about it.
So
Well.
where's that tactical map when you need it?
The tactical map you needed is right nowhere. I can't have one at the moment for reasons.
All right.
Mainly, I don't want to press a button again and everything disappears.
Yeah.
Until
Rich,
until I've undone whatever that is. Let's.
Also, we should probably at some point start removing some of all the tokens we have loaded, because I'm pretty sure it's taxing on something.
I can just delete these. Let's just delete that. I just keep these flags around because they're useful.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
Again, it's not the fact that I hate having them around, because I like it. It gives it more, like, the table more life, like we've been using it. But yeah.
So what is going on over here?
Right, so this is clearly the very end of civilization as you currently know it, because whilst there might have been a building here long ago, it's basically just, bricks in the dirt now. All around you there are the blast marks of laser fire, a huge scorch mark, and without much searching you quickly come across ejected spent shells.
Well, we should probably take those. But
Yeah.
are there any injured people lying around or dead, probably?
Can you give me an outdoorsman check for both of you?
Sure. I'm not using my
I
modifier.
passed by 1.
Oh, outdoorsman just for 2. On the dot.
Okie dokie. So Ruby searches around, sort of following what trails there might be of disturbed mud and bits of broken twigs and whatnot. And you then find the lifeless corpse of someone with a massive, massive section of their torso burnt away.
Oh, and is there anything of use around them or on them? Like, did they have a weapon?
You find... let me have a roll. Oh, this isn't a dice. Oh, don't need that. Delete that. In their right hand is clasped a Mac 10.
Well, I'm taking that. Is there any ammo on them or anything?
You pat down the remains of this person's corpse, and you find 5 reloads.
Okay, 5 of the new reloads.
Yeah, 5 of the new reloads.
Does this Mac 10 have any damage?
The Mac 10 is... Oh, that isn't going to do anything unless I select the dice. The Mac 10 is lightly damaged.
Is that 1 or?
Yeah, 1.
Well, then we now have 2 Mac 10s with 1 damage. We had 4 of the old reloads for Mac 10s.
Okay, so old reloads would go into... let's quickly look that up. Mac 10. Anyone? Makarov? Mac 10. So the old reload. a sec. Where? V6. That's what I'm looking for. Give me that V6. So it's going from that is 3 new star reloads. So whatever number you've got of the old ones, multiply by 3.
Okay, so that becomes 12. And then we have 5 extra, so 17.
Yep.
I'm gonna mark those in a different color so I know that they're new.
Yeah, make sure you keep the old and the new,
Green.
yeah.
Because I don't think we did any other ones of the pile of stuff weapons, did we?
I don't think the pile of stuff has yet been properly addressed, no.
No. Okay. Alright. But we did see more figures running around here, right?
Yes.
Any...
You find, so you've dealt with this guy. Incidentally, this particular ex-person was wearing leather armor, but it's completely ruined.
Well, yeah, I figured that when you said a big chunk of their torso is missing.
Yeah. Having a hole, a torso-size hole in your armor doesn't really help.
So you find someone else crumpled over in a heap with several laser burns over their body, various places, and what are they crouched over? They are crouched over what appears to be. Are you? Yeah, you're familiar with the concept, I think. It's an electrified cattle prod.
Ooh.
Yeah, we will take that. Electrified cattle prod. What does that use as a source of power?
Small energy cells.
Are there any of those around?
It has 3 with it.
Ah. So, electrified cattle
And
prod.
it's in an undamaged condition as well.
So damage 1 or 0?
No damage at all. It's in perfect usable condition.
1. Damn it. 1. There we go. Okay, and then 3 energy cells with it.
Yes.
Okay. And they're small energy cells.
Small energy cells, yeah.
Alright, let's take that too. Was this person wearing anything that's useful?
They're wearing leather armor, however, it looks in pretty bad way.
Do they have any markings on this armor? Are they from anything that we...
There's no discernible, like, iconography or anything that would be associated to anything.
So do they look like bandits, or are they just...
It's just, someone wearing a good set of, well, what was previously a good set of leather armor.
Okay.
This is rank 6 damaged, if you're willing to take it.
That's deep.
Maybe for materials?
True, but...
If you think you can salvage something from it, we should possibly take it.
Always tear stuff apart. Like, the worst case scenario, we end up exactly where we're at right now, with nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, so we'll take that. And is the other worse off?
The what?
The other armor, is that worse off?
Yeah, that is utterly, it's broken beyond repair.
Okay.
There's not enough there to... If you would
will
like, you can
this.
have a leather material item from it, but it's not worth...
Yeah, I guess. I'm going to guess Leon will just tear that off, or
Yeah, in which case you can have a leather material item.
Mhm.
all right, done. So there was only signs that there were 2 people fighting this thing.
You're not sure how many people they were fighting. The area's been heavily disturbed.
Disturbed because of the so
Fine.
that big scorched area,
Hmm.
is that like directed at something?
You don't know. It's just a massive area of land has been scorched by something.
Does it look like the robot has a flamethrower, or is it from something on it that got damaged and exploded? Am I able to discern that?
You cannot.
Okay. All right. So this robot was the size of a car, and it had 4 legs. It's snowing today, so it's probably wet. Does it leave trails, like footprints or holes in the ground or whatever?
I mean, it's quite a heavy thing, and there are stompy, big robot boot splotches all over this area.
But also in the direction where it went to come after us.
Yeah, there's footsteppy bits going off in that direction.
Right. Can we follow those?
Yeah, you follow them into town, or
And
back to where you were.
I'll keep an eye out on my cutie to see if the signal doesn't get any too strong.
According to your hastily added program, the signal is still dropping.
Okay. So yeah, I'm curious about where it went after it was here, because I'm guessing we track it down to over here. Like
Give me an
that.
outdoorsman roll.
Alright.
Yeah, Leon's probably gonna try to assist with that.
I think I'm on it. Yeah.
Hey, I'm 1 under.
Well, with the ground being what it is, you actually managed to find the tracks. Um, it appears to have doubled back on itself
Uh-huh.
and then crossed over the bridge.
Okay. Right, I want to stop recording the signal.
Yep.
Well, stop storing the
Yeah, stop
recordings.
maintaining. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess we go home, drop all the stuff off.
Yeah, it's that it just seemed. That was really scary. Looking for a
Yeah.
massive death robot. Like,
Well, it kind of would have been interesting if it had kept following us. Because I was planning on drawing it over to the Group of 9 guard post.
oh,
Yes,
what
I
the
figured
hell?
that's where you were going
And
with their Dakadakas.
I wonder if they would have been able to take it out, and if so, if they would have let me salvage some parts of it or just inspect. But that didn't happen, so I have a bunch of data. We got some guns.
Yep.
Or weapons and.
And then you set about the day finishing off the things that you've already
Well,
discussed.
okay, but before we do that, Ruby, are you explaining all of your thinking to Leon right now?
Yeah, she's just talking about what her plans were.
Leon just stops on his track, just looks at her, saying that, "You do know for a fact that I don't know what's going on inside of your head, right?" I would, like,
Yeah,
nothing of that plan was told to me. So, for all I
I
know,
know,
you
but
wanted to find it.
you were running with me, so it was fine.
Well, next time, just keep in mind that I can't read your thoughts. So please tell me what it is that you wanted to do. Because I thought you were legit trying to ambush it with just the 3 of us. Like,
Oh no, but you didn't do anything wrong. It went fine.
yeah, well, this I just want this day to be over.
Not that crazy.
How would I know? You don't say anything.
I talk when it's necessary.
Well,
But,
a plan of attack would be necessary.
well, there was
All right.
not going to be an attack.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go back to creating that pickaxe. Leon's just like, she
Cool.
is. Just.
And with that, you finish up those bits that you've done. The day comes to a close.
Mhm.
And
And guess what, Rich?
hello.
Before we went on our very good expedition, before you rolled your random encounter, I made 2 rolls.
Oh, you did?
Yes. And you guess what those are?
Were they for your sleepy sleeps?
Yes. How do you think it went?
I don't know because I can't scroll that far up.
None of them.
Oh, so you
worked.
all right. So you're currently having feverish robot dreams.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Like Leon is just like, he's like in the realization he's going to leave all the stuff he's made. He's going to have him to travel with a old drug addict. He's just been running around in the mud with a psychotic looking like woman and her robot, not knowing if he wants to fight it or not. And then she's just told to, oh, but everything is fine, just relax. And she's like, these people are insane. So, well, insane for like just right now. He's still like wasteland hardened.
Oh, by the way,
Hmm?
Rach, did that robot get close enough to see if it had any markings or logos on it? Or specific color scheme or something that's recognizable?
No. The only thing recognizable about it was a giant fogging robot.
Hmm.
You couldn't pick out if it had any insignias or, denotation markings of any kind.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that's just bad.
Yep.
Well, for one person, someone is not sleeping. That would be me.
No, Ma, I don't want to change the crow's diaper.
Yeah, like oblivious to all of this, Vulcan's fucking.
Yeah, I'm guessing Leon just walks in and just hear Vulcan just mumbling to himself, and for a moment Leon just thinks, should I just punch him? For a moment, just something, and he just walks off and starts doing tinkering stuff.
Cool.
Starts doing gadgeteering.
Right. Well, the new day has been procedurally generated, but I don't think we're going to do another day. Are we going to do another day? Can we afford another day?
Depends on how intense the random encounters are.
I think this day was good. There was things.
Oh yeah.
Giant death robots. I mean,
what's not to love about
someone
giant
died?
death robots?
Yeah, like as a player, I think this has been like an awesome day. And also like I really wanted that robot.
Well, yeah, but we didn't have any idea about its intelligence. But I have a bunch of data.
Yeah. And yeah, and Leon was also for some brief moments of insanity thinking, oh, if we're going on a journey, having a 4-legged robot would just be the fucking bee's knees. That would have been like the best thing that could possibly happen.
Yep.
But
also it was really large, so it consists of a lot of parts and everything.
No, I wanted it to use it as a packing animal, with guns on it. And that was the thing that it's like, yeah, I really want that robot, but I also just saw it completely vaporize people.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to do another day. That's
No, I
up.
think we'll halt the day progress there.
Okay.
If you want to take off the day's food for the 8th,
Next day.
yeah, I'll put it.
Yep.
Well, food and wood.
So, Rich, considering the trip outside, the working on the
No,
wire
the
thing.
little adventure you had won't have impeded your later machinations, because that was already like it had already been discussed that you guys were working in tonight. That what happened barely took you like 30 minutes, 40 minutes of time.
Okay. I'm just thinking of how much fatigue I've burned by this because I won't be gaining it.
Were you encumbered whilst you were out and about?
No, because all his mechanical
I
stuff
was.
is yeah.
Right.
Ruby was
Ruby was encumbered, so she can lose a point of fatigue for trying to basically escape whilst encumbered.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't, so you don't need to. You haven't managed to sleep properly, and you failed your nightmares, so you won't be gaining any fatigue back.
Will I gain my fatigue back?
You will gain back to your full fatigue for resting.
Okay. Oh, that's the wrong way.
And Vulcan shouldn't have lost any, so... because he's been sat at home all day. Cool. And there endeth the 7th of March.
So did I didn't lose any fatigue for this? Didn't regain any?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, that's actually quite bad, but yeah, you didn't gain/lose any.
in Leon's world, not losing fatigue is a plus.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good day.
Yeah. Also, who changed the colors of my tokens?
Oh.
Gurky, Dennis, and Leon have all changed colors.
Don't
They used to be
know.
all red.
To me,
They
they're
were
different
all
colours.
red, right?
Yeah, they used to be red.
Did they?
They're purple and orange, the other one.
Oh, I haven't touched them. That's just what they are.
Well, you did touch the table.
Yeah, I touched the table quite hard.
Yeah.
I touched the table with vigor.
Yeah, I'm but yeah, I'm guessing that's probably what happened. All right.
Clean up some of those dice. Yeah. So, does anyone want to hand out RP well done goodness points?
To be honest, I kind of want to award for every one of us because we all played our characters. Like Vulcan did really good backstory. Ruby planned it.
This was a good day for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I can't say that someone should take above another on this one. Like, everyone was engaged. Everyone was doing shit.
And everybody was in character doing all this because it's just like Vulcan telling stories, Ruby planning a plan of attack inside of her head, which is totally within her character, and Leon having his mental breakdown and being a social idiot.
But all.
Play the planning of because Ruby is also super curious, so she wants to know everything about the robot.
Yeah, of course.
But she's also not stupid, so she doesn't try to get killed.
Yeah, and I like the thinking of like she's doing all of these calculations about like their engagement. Like, okay, I have Leon, I have Quinn, and I have myself, and this and this and this. But she doesn't tell Leon it. He just like he just follows along, just like I really like. What is she doing? But we have to be quiet.
Well, yeah, we didn't really have time to be talking about it, and you weren't doing anything that you shouldn't be doing, so it was perfect.
Yeah, and like, quite stressful for Leon. Yeah, which kind of makes sense that he didn't succeed any of his stuff.
There we go then. I'll kill off all of these notes I've got. There we go. Destroyed the notes. That was a good little session.
Yeah.
A lot of RP, which was interesting. We set some backstory, and I've generated some extra world details to go along with it all.
And
So,
also, again, like everything has just been much more smoothly since we removed the training thing.
A lot more stuff happens.
Yeah, like every single session, something happens. Like something is actively happening. So.
Well, the thing
was-
is,
It was a
even with the
really good
robot,
change.
even
Yeah.
without the robot, I'd have happy for the session just to go the way it was because I was enjoying like all the things that were coming up about. Got a bit more
Vulcan.
backstory on where Ruby's from. Got a bit more backstory about Vulcan's journey and things. So the world has become bigger.
The sessions where you're the DM and you're just sitting there with your hands like on your chin watching your players talk. That's
Yeah.
the session. Those are gold.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's like they're doing my work for me. Excellent.
Excellent.
I'm
We
going
got
to
lots
take
of
this
stuff done.
and murder them with it.
I am invincible. Yeah, but yeah, it's only Leon that's just like this, like moldable piece of like clay, and I kind of enjoy that. I've tried having like the deep mega backstories and all that. I kind of like just the well, he just grew up in the town they left, tinkering
I
with stuff.
have a bit of a global backstory, but I make up a bunch of the stuff on the spot as it's It's
That
difficult,
you
but it
see,
works.
you've now given me enough that I've actually got a defined place where you've come from. So I now know how far away everything is for you, and I know more about what type of things I need to engage with in that area. So you've given me a lot to work with without without intending to.
Good.
And I do have to say one thing, Rich, that I am really super jealous of you having right now that I didn't have when I was GMing. The recordings, like,
Yeah,
like,
I mean I've got these
Yeah.
recordings, so I can just skip back and like, what happened there? What happened? Who did what?
Luckily,
I'm
even if no one watches, no
no,
other people watch them, it's still cool to have them
yeah,
like
it's a cool
things.
reference.
Yeah.
I have been umming and erring. I might just ditch all of the recordings from the quote-unquote training sessions, just to refine that all of my recorded media is funky like this, like little action adventures. Because yeah, it was getting too there. So.
And the thing is, with like the campaign that I've been working on and whatnot, I'm like, no, there's none of it. I'll just give you points and you can level up. Because yeah, having you spend a session doing training just kind of stinks, but
Yeah, and I know, I mean, looking through the rules again, I realise why those rules exist. There is a game session somewhere that does deserve to incorporate those rules properly, but it just wasn't this game.
yeah, it isn't ours.
So I know why they're there. It's just it wasn't for this. So there you go. Oh well, never mind. Right, have I saved everything I need to save? Details. Yep, everything is saved. Didn't even get to use my new crit cards.
Aw.
well, you did okay. Well, you did try to get us killed. So
I was quite worried because that particular bad guy.
Robot.
Go on, Rich. Tell us how it is the exact same situation we had with the floating eye robot. That we should have just have gone after it because we could have hacked it.
No. This one absolutely not.
Oh, yeah, this was not an iRobot. Like in any, no, this was.
Okay, if we've like gone up against it.
That is interesting. These models have somehow become one with the world.
Hang on, I have to write some
Oh, yeah,
on this.
you can, yeah, they're not there.
Don't know how that's happened.
You fused them into the table.
Oh well.
Yeah.
That is weird. They have just disappeared.
I think a lot of you're the farther we get into the story and more things that we're doing, the more broken the table's becoming. It's just like in the real world, like your paper's getting worn and like stuff is
Drat.
just getting.
Rat? Why
My
drat?
notepad isn't big enough, but I got an idea.
Okay.
Can't.
Leaving. Neil and other questions. How long did you guys play for last night?